The following is a presentation of Wareham Gatemen Baseball, brought to you by the Gatemen Baseball Network in conjunction with the Cape Cod Baseball League.
As the summer of 2017 continues, the Wareham Gatemen are right in the middle of the Cape Cod Baseball League playoff race.
Line shot by Anchia. This one is back. It's far. Bye-bye baseball. A two-run homer for Jake Anchia.
Drives this one to deep right field. Heading back is Pompey. He's at the track, leaps and makes the play. What a play by Tristan Pompey.
Called strike three in the inside part. Griffin Roberts
swings and drives this one deep to left field. That one is into the trees.
With stellar pitching and timely hitting, Gatemen have taken the West Division by storm.
The 0-2 from Fioli, called strike three.
Throwing back to first base McIver, and the tag is in time from Sable.
Sends it to right field. Going back is the right fielder. That one's gone. Tanner Dodson.
And now, the push for Wareham's 8th league championship heats up.
Duran swings and hits this one through the gap. Rounding third and heading for home is John Topa. The throw to the plate is not in time, and Topa will score.
The breaking ball called strike three. Dalton Roach strikes out the side.
1-2. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts for Brett Canine.
Lines it right back up the middle for a base hit. On the first pitch, Baird rounds third. He's going to come home and score.
Metz sends it down the right field line. It's in for a base hit. Rounding third. Coming home is Duran. He will score. And the Wareham Gatemen are now winners of 5 in a row. The Gatemen walk it off at Spillane Field. How do you like that?
It's Wareham Gatemen Baseball, and it's live on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The magic number is 3 for the Wareham Gatemen. That's how many points they need to secure a postseason berth here in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Just 4 games remaining on the season. We thank you for joining our live broadcast here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Sam Corman and Jacob Toby for the action in today's Wareham Gatemen matchup at home against the Cotuit Kettleers. Game number 6 of 6 against Cotuit this season. And the Gatemen had a much-needed victory yesterday against the Orleans Firebirds. Probably the most needed victory of the season in total. I mean, a 7-game losing streak, and then they go out to Orleans on the road against the best team in the Cape Cod Baseball League, and they get the victory. How did they do it?
How do they do it? They did it by both hitting the baseball well, scoring runs, and pitching out of the bullpen. Your starter, Jordan Britton, he pitched into the 4th inning, and he let up 3 earned runs. He did strike out 4. You saw some good things from him, but you also saw a little bit of struggles from him. But then Aaron Hernandez comes in out of the Wareham bullpen, pitches you 5 solid innings, basically a start if you want to look at just the innings. Wareham Gatemen pitcher's only gone 6 innings this season, so a start basically for Aaron Hernandez, in which he only lets up the solo shot for the home run. He also let up another run, but it was not earned. He strikes out 6 batters, and on the final at-bat of the night, it was electric. You saw, emotion come out of him, and he was very happy about striking out the last batter to end the game. And then also you talk about Stephen Kwan constantly checking in on us on the scoreboard to keep track on what Hyannis was doing as well. So overall, a nice team effort last night. Everyone was smiling. Everyone was happy. First time in a long time, in about a week and a half.
Yeah, I mean, and they do it in a game where they surrender 3 home runs and they're still able to come out with the victory. Just shows the kind of game it was for Wareham. I mean, Orleans wasn't able to score on anything other than the long ball yesterday, and of course it's only 300 feet down there to the left field line. John Topel was pretty upset when he watched a high fly ball off the bat of Ethan Paul end up going over the fence in that game. A lot different dimensions here at Spillane Field for this game against the Cotuit Kettleers, who have already played a game today. They defeated the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 11-4 in a noon start time. This is the back half of a doubleheader for them. How do the Gatemen take advantage of a pretty, depleted and tired Kettleers team?
Yeah, you talk about a depleted and tired Kettleers team playing a full 9-inning game at 12 p.m. today. High noon. The sun was at its highest. It was hot out today. during the ballpark at McKeon in Hyannis, and now you have to come all the way to Wareham and play the Wareham Gatemen, who just beat the best team in the CCBL in the Orleans Firebirds last night. They're riding high on emotion right now. So I would expect the Wareham Gatemen to come out firing early. Look for Cotuit to be a little sluggish. They didn't take batting practice or infield. Outfield, they're taking as much rest as possible. They're stretching right now, chilling in the shade because they are tired, and they've only got about a handful of pitchers to use for this game tonight because of what they had to go through just at 12 o'clock this afternoon versus the Harbor Hawks. So overall, the Gatemen do have the advantage today at Spillane.
It's going to be a good one, and it's a very important one for the Wareham Gatemen. If they can win tonight, they would just need one tie or a win to secure a playoff spot in the Cape Cod Baseball League playoffs, which are set to begin on Saturday. It's now time to bring it over to Gatemen Pregame Live, presented by South Coast Health, with Connor Federico.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. It's a beautiful day for baseball here at Spillane Field in Wareham, Massachusetts. You're watching Gatemen Pregame Live, presented by South Coast Health. I'm your host for the day, Connor Federico. We've got the Cotuit Kettleers visiting the Wareham Gatemen, and Cotuit already played today against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in Hyannis. They're a bit short-staffed, and the Gatemen, they won last night against the Orleans Firebirds in dramatic fashion. We'll have our Sam Corman take you through everything in that contest.
Nothing but blue skies do I see right now here in Orleans, Massachusetts, for Wareham Gatemen Baseball. A crucial Sunday matchup between the Wareham Gatemen and the Orleans Firebirds.
Over the past two games, the Gatemen had found a way to score in the second inning, and that was a trend that continued into last night against Orleans. But this time, the production came from an unlikely bat.
Against William McIver. First pitch line into right field for a base hit. Rounding third and heading home is John Topa. Here's the throw. It's cut off at the mound. Sliding into third is Blake Sable. Baird advances to second on the throw. It's an RBI single for the 9-hitter, Ben Baird, and the Gatemen are on the board. They lead it 1-0.
And after scoring in the second inning over the past two contests against Brewster and Orleans, the Gatemen found a way to give up the lead. That was also a trend that continued into last night against the Firebirds.
This one drilled out to deep right. On the run is Robbie Metz. He looks up. It's over the fence. A 2-run shot for Steven Scott. And the Orleans Firebirds jump the Gatemen. They lead it 2-1. This one is crushed to deep left. On the run is Topa. It's gone. A solo shot for Kevin Stroshine. The second home run of the inning. And the Firebirds take a 3-1 lead. Here's the 0-1 from Hernandez. High pitch is sent out to deep left. It's only 300 feet out there. Topa's at the track. He looks up. It's gone. A 2-run home run for Ethan Paul. And the Orleans Firebirds are using the long ball to extend their lead. It's now 5-1.
That's right. The Gatemen pitchers Jordan Britton and Aaron Hernandez gave up 3 home runs in the 4th and the 5th innings to the Orleans lineup. But the Wareham Bats, they would not stay down. They would not quit. And John Topa found a way to cut into the Orleans deficit.
First pitch is swung on and flown out opposite field down the right field line. Under it, Decolati makes the play on the line. Tagging is Kasser. He's going to come home and score. The throw comes in. And tagging from second to third is Jaron Duran. It's a sac fly for John Topa, and the Gatemen have cut the lead to 5-2 here in the 6th inning.
That John Topa RBI was only the first run scored for the Gatemen in the 6th inning. In fact, they would get 2 more runs on the board thanks to the leading home run hitter for Wareham.
Here's the 1-2. Driven out to deep left. This one is absolutely smoked. Jake Anchia with a 2-run blast to left field. It's only 300 feet out there, and that one was probably at least 350. The Gatemen have made this a 5-4 game on that blast from Anchia, his 5th of the season.
The Gatemen only trailed by 1 after that 2-run shot from Jake Anchia in the 6th inning. So they get it done with the long ball in the 6th, and then moving forward to the 7th, it took some good bunting, some good base running, and then some timely hitting.
Here's the 0-1. Driven out to deep left center field. On the run is the left fielder Stroshine. He gets under it and makes the play. Tagging and scoring easily is Ben Baird. It's a sacrifice fly for Kyle Kasser. The small ball works, and the Gatemen have tied the game at 5 here in the 7th inning. Here he is. Lefty grounds it through the right side, off the glove of the second baseman to Ethan Paul. Coming around third, heading home and scoring is Stephen Kwan. The Gatemen take the lead on an RBI single from Jaron Duran.
The Gatemen piggybacks over the Orleans Firebirds. They were down 5-4. Then they take a 6-5 lead thanks to a Jaron Duran RBI single, as Sam Corman just told you. And throughout the rest of the game, the bottom of the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, it was up to Aaron Hernandez, the pitcher from Texas A&M Corpus Christi, to close the door.
Swing and a miss. Steven Scott, the big gun, goes down swinging. Another strikeout for Aaron Hernandez. 6-5 Gatemen, bottom half of the 8th inning. Swing and a miss. Stroshine down swinging. Hernandez with his 5th strikeout. The righty Hernandez against the lefty. Swing and a miss. McIver puts the tag on. Brandon Riley strikes out. A huge strikeout for Aaron Hernandez. Number 6 for him. 2 outs in the 9th for Jimmy Herron. Hernandez is going to have to get through. First pitch, grounded to the second baseman, Duran. Over to first. The losing streak is over. Duran retires Herron, and the Gatemen snap the 7-game losing streak. They defeat the Orleans Firebirds by a score of 6-5 here at Eldridge Park in Orleans.
And that was it. Hernandez showing emotion out there on the mound. The Gatemen showing life, snapping the 7-game losing streak, making sure that it didn't go to 8, all while beating the best team in the league in dramatic fashion. And now we'll send it to our Claudia Chikamian, who caught up with one of the stars of last night's game.
Thank you, Connor. I'm joined right now with Jaron Duran. So, Jaron, really good night for you at the plate. 3 for 4, had 2 ground rule doubles. On one of those, you were already almost at third. Was that frustrating at all, not knowing that you kind of got robbed of an extra base?
Yeah, of course. You know, you always want to get the triple, you know. An extra base is huge. An extra 90 is always a big thing.
Now, last night you went into the game, only 9 position players. You're going to deal with that for the next few days, but the whole lineup was really producing. So how good did it feel knowing that you guys went in shorthanded, but it was a really solid team effort from you guys?
Well, I guess it's always a good thing, you know, there's nobody that's going to hit for you, so, like, all the trust is in you, so you just got to do your job, and you can play a little relaxed knowing, like, even if you do bad, you're still going to be in there.
Now, what's the mindset now? No more losing streak on you guys. You got that win. Seemed to be clicking much better. So how are you guys feeling moving into this final regular season stretch?
I think we're playing like we just play, you know, loose, have fun, and just play our baseball, and we'll be fine.
Now, Cotuit played a late game last night, went into extra innings. They lost. Then they beat Hyannis this morning, so they've already played. Do you think that's going to help you guys knowing that they've had a long past 24 hours and you guys can maybe build off their momentum?
Yeah, definitely. They're going to be tired, you know, but we still got to come out and play our game because this is baseball and anything could happen.
And now you guys are very close to Hyannis for that final playoff spot. Does that give you guys any sort of comfort knowing that Cotuit took care of them this morning and you guys can just focus on yourselves, or is that really never a big issue?
I don't think it's really a big issue, you know, and nobody really looks at like where we're placed. I think we're just out here playing baseball and having fun.
Great, thanks, Jaron.
Thank you.
Back to you, Connor.
Thank you very much, Claudia. We're just 16 minutes away from game time here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. We'll take a quick break, but coming up soon, the Gates and the Kettles on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgent care. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgent care.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen Youth Clinics. The instruction clinics are open to boys and girls between ages 4 and 15. The clinics are a great opportunity to meet and learn from some of the best collegiate players in the country. Clinics are held Monday through Friday, depending on the player's off day. For more information and to sign up your young ball player, visit www.gatemen.org. Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen High School Clinics. These programs are run by the Gatemen coaching staff with a focus on exposing high school area players to the college game. To sign up for either the hitting, pitching, or catching camps, visit www.gatemen.org for more information.
Welcome back to the Gatemen Baseball Network. Today, the Wareham Gatemen, they take on the Cotuit Kettleers that have already played in a game today against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Did the Gatemen some favors, as Sam Corman and Jacob told you before. Let's get into tonight's pitching matchup. First, for the home team Wareham Gatemen, it's going to be Mr. Reliable, Mr. .80 ERA. It's Noah Zavalis. With an 0-1 record, the Harvard product will make his third start of the season tonight. His last start was against these same Kettleers back at Lowell Park just about a week ago. Zavalis pitched 1 1/3 innings, gave up a home run to Thomas Dillard, was taken out of the game after that with some hamstring soreness. He tells us at the Gatemen Baseball Network that he is perfectly fine and ready to go for today's action. For the visiting Cotuit Kettleers from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania and Coastal Carolina University, it's Austin Kitchen, who on the summer holds a 1-2 record, a 4.10 ERA, mostly reliever, but making his second start of the summer tonight. 15 strikeouts in 15 innings. He's been solid, but in his last appearance, a 5-inning start, he gave up 2 runs to the Brewster Whitecaps, and the Cotuit Kettleers eventually went on to lose that game. So for more about how the Gatemen are going to attack Kitchen tonight, we'll turn it to one of the stars of last night's game, Ben Baird and Claudia Chakamian.
Thank you, Connor. I'm joined by Ben Baird right now. So, Ben, really good night for you at the plate. Your offense really came together for you as you've been struggling at the beginning of the season. How good did it feel to get those really key hits last night?
It felt great. It felt great to have teammates and coaches support. I think we're all just supporting each other really well right now, feeling loose, and we were able to get it rolling last night.
Now, last night you guys went into the game a little not told, didn't have all the personnel, only 9 position players on that losing streak. But how great did it feel having the whole lineup really hitting and producing, and not having to worry about everything else that was going on?
It felt great, and I think the biggest thing is we just went out there, had fun, went out there, played like we had nothing to lose, and I think that's kind of what brought us together and enabled us to have that kind of a game.
Now, Hyannis played this morning and they lost to Cotuit. You guys are playing in a little bit, so does that help you guys knowing you don't have to scoreboard watch and that game's already taken care of and you guys can just focus on your own destiny at this point today?
Yeah, definitely nice knowing that in the back of our mind, but we're going to play this game like we play every other one, just take it one pitch at a time and just do our thing, and we'll control our own destiny.
Yeah, and Cotuit had a late game last night. They fell in extras. Now they just played a game this morning, not used to those morning games. You guys haven't played any of those. So do you think that's going to help you guys knowing that these players are tired, and maybe you guys can build off that momentum, especially after that big win for you guys last night?
Yeah, I think it's definitely important to take advantage of that. But we're going to play as if they're 100%, keep us sharp on our game, and I think it'll be a good one.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
Back to you, Connor.
Thank you very much, Claudia. Let's run through the starting lineups first for the visiting Cotuit Kettleers. First, batting first and in right field tonight, the All-Star, Griffin Conine. Batting second and DHing, it's Grayson Genesta. Batting third is Thomas Dillard from Ole Miss. He plays left field today. In the cleanup spot for Cotuit, Michael Tolia, he plays first base. Batting fifth, Miles Lewis in center field. Gian Martellini, this is his first appearance against the Gatemen this season. He bats sixth and is behind the plate. At shortstop, batting seventh is Chandler Avant. Batting eighth, Luke Alexander plays second base. And rounding out the lineup at third base is Zach Cohn from Duke. The starting pitcher, as we told you before, is Austin Kitchen for the Cotuit Kettleers. And moving on to the Wareham Gatemen, batting first, Stephen Kwan playing center field. Batting second in right, Robbie Metz. Batting third, Kyle Kasser from Oregon. He plays third base. In the cleanup hole again, Jaron Duran, the second baseman. He bats fourth. John Topa, is in left field and bats fifth. Jake Anchia had a homer last night against Orleans. He is again in the DH role, batting sixth. Willie McIver stays at the 7 spot. Number 17 will catch today. And then Blake Sable, he bats eighth and plays first base. And rounding out the lineup, Claudia just talked to him, the shortstop, Ben Baird. The Gatemen Baseball Network would like to remind you that you can contact us anytime by emailing pressbox@gatemen.org. Please feel free to send us your questions or comments, and we'll make to address them as soon as possible. Make sure you're keeping up with all the Gatemen action 24/7 by following the Wareham Gatemen on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud. I'm Connor Federico, now alongside Matt Fell, the team beat writer. And Matt, we have a lot of new additions to this Gatemen roster today and over the next couple of days. Who's coming in?
Well, John Murphy just arrived. He's from University of Maryland, and he spent some time playing this summer in the Cal Ripken League. And he's coming in here. He was a reliever back at school, pitched to an under 2 ERA, only 8 walks over 31 innings of work. Pitching coach Jim Lawler, just based on his numbers, was pretty excited. And then Chris Weiss coming in as well from Hofstra. Pitching coach Jim Lawler said that neither of those two will be throwing on the real mound until he takes a look at them pitch in the bullpen, so they probably won't see any action until at least Thursday. They're going to throw a bullpen tonight and might throw another 10 to 15 pitch bullpen tomorrow. Pitching coach Jim Lawler says they're going to take it slow with the two of them, make sure that they've got enough rest based on their time in the summer league before they officially throw in a game, probably depending on the Gatemen's postseason implications on Thursday.
That would be pretty interesting to see guys who didn't pitch any regular season in the Cape Cod League pitch in the postseason. That happened a little bit last year, didn't it?
Yeah, Noah Zavalis, actually, who's now, of course, starting tonight's game for the Gatemen, came in last year at the very end of the season. There was another guy by the name of Nick Margavicius, who I'm sure Jacob Toby vividly remembers, a left-hander who was pitching in the 9th inning against Bourne in Game 2 of the playoffs, who arrived 2 days earlier. So all in all, it's a bit of a hectic last couple of days. All teams on Cape Cod are dealing with it right now. The Gatemen are no unique circumstance. Hyannis, who's also fighting for a playoff spot. Cotuit, who the Gatemen are playing, are also a little short on pitching. They have guys coming in, so nothing unique to the Gatemen, but it's definitely throwing a lot of newcomers into the fire right off the bat.
9 position players still is the total after today's game. What can you tell us moving forward, if they'll do anything about that?
Yeah, the Gatemen should be getting some new position players in this week. They were hoping to get some in today. They were not released, though, from their league, so they're going to have to wait till Wednesday for those guys to come in. Most of them playing in the NECBL. Almost all of them were all-stars, a first baseman from Siena, another infielder, a pitcher from the New Bedford Bay Sox who pitches at UMass Dartmouth, a left-hander. So the Gatemen are having some reinforcements come in, but for the next 2 days, the Gatemen will be playing with 9 position players. The guys taking infield, outfield right now are the Gatemen on offense, and then Cody Smith, a reliever with the Wareham Gatemen, but also an outfielder back at school, had played in 39 games in the outfield. He will be the emergency position player should the Gatemen need one for whatever reason. Noah Zavalis was also a shortstop in high school, and he's, of course, an option. But he's pitching tonight, so he's not available to be a position player.
It feels like the first couple weeks of the season again with all the transactions. We here at the Gatemen Baseball Network will keep you up to date on what's happening 24/7. Just follow us on social media and send us emails with any questions. That's Matt Feld. I'm Connor Federico. We'll take a quick break on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen High School Clinics. These programs are run by the Gatemen coaching staff with a focus on exposing high school area players to the college game. To sign up for either the hitting, pitching, or catching camps, visit www.gatemen.org for more information.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for baseball. We're getting ready to send it over to Sam Corman and Jacob Toby. That'll do it for me on the Gatemen Baseball Network. I'll see you in the third inning for an update. I'm Connor Federico. Now it's time for the Gates and the Kettles on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Sam and Jacob, take it away.
Well, a phenomenal national anthem again. Unfortunately, the listeners today didn't have the pleasure of hearing it, but another good one and a great day of baseball ahead. It's the Cotuit Kettleers and the Wareham Gatemen here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. We get the big play ball from some of the interns down there. Intern Appreciation Day was a few weeks ago, but we can always appreciate the interns here at Spillane Field. This game has major playoff implications. You know, the Gatemen went on a 7-game losing streak, but if they can win out, they still have an opportunity to maybe move into third place or second place.
No, they definitely.
Or first place.
Oh, okay. Yeah, first place is probably the least likely at this point. But, hey, anything is possible in the final games. But probably third place is the most reachable right now. You're 5 points behind Bourne. Bourne sitting in third place, 20-20, exactly 540 points in the West. Wareham, of course, 17-20.
Maroon today.
A behemoth, yes, you are correct. Coming into this evening, 5th in the league in batting average, tied 2nd in home runs. So he was a force to be reckoned with, but one pitch, one out. Nice job from Zavalis.
Grayson Genista, another lefty, steps in. Number 31 in Maroon takes a strike on the outside corner. That off-speed pitch from Zavalis. Genista, another really good hitter in this Cotuit lineup. It might be the best 1-2 punch in any lineup in the Cape Cod League. Pitch is fouled away over the Cotuit dugout and out of play on a line. The count's 0-2, and that's where Noah Zavalis has excelled this season, is getting ahead in the count and forcing guys to pop up or strike out. He does have a lot of strikeouts this season. Zavalis has 26 strikeouts in 22 innings this year. This pitch grounded to the second baseman, Jaron Duran. He fields it, moves over to his left, and calmly fires it over to Blake Sable for out number 2 in the first inning. 2 quick outs for Noah Zavalis on this Cotuit lineup that might be a little bit tired. Thomas Dillard steps in. We'll run through the Gatemen defense before we give you their lineup in the bottom half of the frame. Left to right in the outfield, John Topa in left, Stephen Kwan in center, Robbie Metz out in right. His usual spot now, Robbie Metz. Kasser at third, Ben Baird at short. Jaron Duran is at second. Blake Sable back at first base with William McIver doing the catching for Noah Zavalis, whose first pitch is a ball outside, 1-0. McIver caught yesterday for the 1-2 punch of swing and a miss by Thomas Dillard, off-speed pitch on the outside corner. For the 1-2 punch of Jordan Britton and Aaron Hernandez. Hernandez came in relief, 5 innings. Was phenomenal, gave up just 1 earned run, 3 hits, 6 strikeouts. Here's the pitch from Zavalis. Fastball down the middle of the plate, taken by Thomas Dillard. It's 1-2. Cotuit wearing their road uniforms. They have the same pants both home and away. It's the white maroon striped pants with the red, the maroon upper body jersey with blue numbers. That's not black, it's blue. That pitch fouled away down the left field line.
It's not. You've been telling me that the whole season. And you've been upset about it, too.
That's because there was this myth that Cotuit wore black, and I felt like I had to solve it. And I had confirmation from some of the Cotuit fans last week at Lowell Park that it was blue. The Gatemen are sporting their home whites today, with the Gatemen written across the front in the red letters. Red brims today on the blue hats. The pitch from Zavalis. Sharply grounded. Diving stop by Duran. He gets up, throws it over to first in time. On one hop, Jaron Duran snares that ball to his left and retires the side in the first inning. Thomas Dillard grounds out 4-3. The Gatemen coming to bat in the bottom half of the first. Cotuit held scoreless here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgent care. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgent care.
The Down East Lobster Roll combos are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Welcome back, Cotuit. They've taken the field with their defense, and we'll run through the Gatemen lineup with Austin Kitchen on the mound doing his warm-ups. Stephen Kwan leading off in center field. By the way, this lineup is exactly the same as it was yesterday. He's from Oregon State. Robbie Metz out of George Washington batting second and right. Oregon's Kyle Kasser is batting third at third base. Jaron Duran batting cleanup at second base from Long Beach State. UConn's John Topa in left batting fifth. Jake Anchia batting sixth and DHing out of Nova Southeastern. Willie McIver from Washington catching and batting seventh. Blake Sable from USC, Southern California, batting eighth and at first base. Ben Baird batting ninth at shortstop from Washington. And he wears the magic number on his jersey, which is 3 points for the Gatemen to automatically clinch a playoff berth. Stephen Kwan will step in, a lefty batter, to face Austin Kitchen, number 38, from Coastal Carolina.
See what he can cook up tonight.
Yes. That mound is his kitchen.
Probably got a lot of appliances to work with.
Many, maybe 3 or 4 different appliances.
Different speeds of the appliances as well.
He does have a fastball. That first pitch to Stephen Kwan on the inside corner for a strike, 0-1 to the leadoff guy. He has a fastball, but it won't blow you away, 87 to 89 miles an hour. A very methodical windup for the lefty. He deals a breaking ball in there for a strike down the middle of the plate. Kwan down on the count, 0-2. Stephen Kwan with 13 runs batted in. That's tied for third in this lineup. He's only been with the Gatemen for less time than most of this lineup. He fouls this pitch away right back and just past the backstop out of play. Yesterday, Kwan had our off day a little bit, 0 for 4 with a walk. Also came around to score back in the 7th. That run that he scored ended up being the game-winning run. Swung on and missed. An off-speed pitch on the outside part of the plate gets Kwan swinging, and he's down for out number 1 here in the first inning. Robbie Metz is going to step in now, finding himself in the 2-hole for game number for the second time in a row after yesterday.
He's batted all around. Back in 2016, was in every batting position except cleanup in the 3 spot.
First pitch to Metz is a breaking ball in there for a strike. A little bit of a slider action on Kitchen's breaking ball. That one came in just over the middle of the plate from the outside corner, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Inside, and it's inside out of play, opposite field on a foul ball from Metz. Counts 0-2. Metz hitting .278, but that's a testament to how his season's gone because he started off the season at a lot lower of a batting average and has kind of worked it back up to a really good .278 number. There's the pitch. Back up the middle. Luke Alexander is there at second base, fires across to Michael Tolia at first base. 2 away. We'll run through the Cotuit defense here in the first inning. Thomas Dillard in left, Miles Lewis in center, Griffin Conine in right. Zach Cohn at third base, Chandler Avant at short, Luke Alexander is at second, Michael Tolia is at first. Gian Martellini is catching for Austin Kitchen, who has retired the first 2 Gatemen, 1 via strikeout and 1 via groundout from Robbie Metz. Here's Kyle Kasser. Takes a ball up high, 1-0. Lefty number 2 in this lineup for the Gatemen. you'll be seeing Quan, Kasser, Duran, and Sable, the only lefty batters in this lineup today. 1-0. Upstairs, 2-0. And that's one of that could be the biggest thing they lose with Dodson and Pompey, no longer part of these lineups, is the ability to have a few switch hitters in there. They lose that. They have no more switch hitters in this lineup. It's a big loss. 2-0 coming in from the methodical delivery of Alexander. It's a two-seam fastball, and it finds the outside corner, 2-1. That was gorgeous. Off the outside part of the plate, works its way back in to the outside corner. Kasser with 13 runs batted in this season. And here's the 2-1. Just outside on a fastball. 3-1.
I've liked what I've seen so far, though, from Kitchen. Placement outside part of the zone right there. But his breaking ball I've really liked so far.
It is a slider, and that is an advantage of having a slider and a two-seamer, as you can get pitches that go in the opposite directions. Here's the 2-1. Two-seamer lined right to the pitcher's glove. Kasser had a nice contact back up the middle, but it's snared by Kitchen. 1-2-3 inning for the Cotuit pitcher, Austin Kitchen, out of Coastal Carolina. Let's go to the second inning. No score between the Kettleers and the Gatemen here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Listen to the game wherever you go with the Next Radio app. Catch this station's local broadcast or stream all the action right on your phone. Visit the Google Play Store and download the free Next Radio app today.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1991, holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 through 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, plus 400 have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Friendly's Restaurants, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to be the official ice cream of the Cape Cod Baseball League and bring together 2 of America's favorite pastimes, baseball and ice cream.
Welcome back. Top half of the second inning. Noah Zavalis back out to take on the middle of this Cotuit lineup. He had a nice 1-2-3 inning in the first. Michael Tolia, Miles Lewis, Gian Martellini due up for Cotuit. UCLA due up right now. It's Tolia, a lefty, facing the righty Zavalis. First pitch is a breaking ball in there for a strike. And Zavalis dealing pretty nicely here early on in this game. Tolia takes a ball inside on a fastball from Zavalis, 1-1.
Other than the Cotuit snafu, his last time out, I've really loved what Zavalis has done this season. He's been one of the top 2 or 3 arms out of this bullpen.
That pitch outside, 2-1 to Tolia. The cleanup guy hitting .204 this season, but does have 16 runs batted in. Zavalis kicks and delivers. Breaking ball on the outside corner. Looked a bit outside from here, but he gets the favorable call from home plate umpire Vicente Alexander Medina. I bet you can say that better than me. Vicente Alexander Medina. Here's the pitch. Lined off the glove of Duran. He picks it up, goes over to first in time. Wow, the 3rd consecutive ground out to Jaron Duran, but it's not too conventional. It goes off the glove of Duran as he jumped up to try to make that play, but it stayed near him as he dropped it, and he was able to go pick it up and fire over to first. Tolia might have stopped running because he thought Duran was going to catch it, and if he was sprinting down the line to first, he might have had a shot to beat that one out. But either way, the third consecutive ground out to Jaron Duran. He's been busy already. The first pitch to Miles Lewis is fouled away opposite field, 0-1.
Other than that one game where the Whitey Red Sox made Duran commit a couple errors at second base time around the All-Star game, he has been so good over there at the 4 spot on the field, and I've loved his athleticism.
The pitch to Miles Lewis is low, counts 1-1. Lewis coming to you out of Michigan, a transfer from the University of North Dakota. Played 1 year with the Fighting Sioux and hit 3 home runs, drove in 24 that year, and then transferred to Michigan. That pitch swung on and missed, low, 1-2. Went to Michigan and had a really productive year for the Wolverines. Hit .296, 16 extra base hits, 33 runs batted in. Also stole 19 bases in 23 attempts, so he really found himself with the Wolverines. Off-speed pitch is fouled away opposite field over the visitors' broadcast booth, which is anchored down by the Cotuit Kettleers broadcast team today, and then over towards Wareham Middle School. The count remains 1-2. Zavalis stares down his opponent. The righty kicks, and it's fouled away once again to the same exact spot towards the Gatemen locker room over there by Wareham Middle School. Lewis in the 5-hole today, playing center field. 7 runs batted in this season. .311 on-base percentage. And he takes called strike 3 on the outside corner. The first strikeout for Noah Zavalis. It comes on a fastball that just paints that outside part of the plate. And it's brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. 2 down, 5 up, 5 down for the Harvard Crimson.
And another thing I like about Zavalis is that he works really quickly. He's set before the batter is even in the box, and he wants the tempo to be fast and upbeat.
And furious.
I was going to say that, but
that breaking ball was absolutely gorgeous. I don't think I've seen a breaking ball from Zavalis like that yet this season. It drops right in there on the inside corner, 0-1 to Jean Martellini. Playing catcher today after Ivan Gonzalez took the catching duties in Game 1 of this day-night doubleheader for the Cotuit Kettleers. That pitch in there for a strike, 0-2. Looks like a bit of a cut fastball from Zavalis. Has that movement in towards the middle part of the plate, but is not a breaking ball. Zavalis holds his glove in front of his face and now kicks towards home plate. Swung on and missed. Jean Martellini down swinging on 3 pitches. And Noah Zavalis has retired the first 6 in this Cotuit order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left for the Kettleers. The Gatemen coming to bat in the bottom half of the second here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
We appreciate and thank the sponsors who support the Cape League and the 10 teams. Our corporate sponsors are the financial backbone of the league. It is with their support that we are able to preserve our long-standing tradition of providing the best family entertainment here on Cape Cod. On behalf of the visiting team, the Wareham Gatemen, league officers, and the entire Cape League family, we would like to announce and thank our 2017 corporate sponsors. With much appreciation, we recognize the Yawkey Foundation, Chatham Bars Inn, the Fuller Family Foundation, Dunkin' Donuts, Curry College, Cape Cod Healthcare, the 99 Restaurants, Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod, Cape Cod Potato Chips, Friendly's Ice Cream, Baseball Factory, Cape and Island License Plate, 47 Brand, Cape Cod 5 Cents Saving Bank, Stop and Shop, Peapod. We'll be back to you in the next inning for the second half of this outstanding list of loyal sponsors.
It's the bottom half of the second inning here at Spillane Field in Wareham. Thank you for joining our live broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Sam Corman and Jacob Toby coming to you live from Wareham, the Ham.
The gateway to Cape Cod, Sam.
It is. Great Snapchat filter that symbolizes that as well, with the lighthouses coming in off of Route 28. That pitch, fastball on the outside corner from Austin Kitchen, in there for a strike to Jaron Duran. Kitchen had a 1-2-3 inning back in the first. Duran, a lefty, he's been really leading this offense over the past week or so. Swings and misses at a pitch outside of the strike zone. The count's 0-2. Duran from Long Beach State. And in his last 10 games, leading the Gatemen in batting average with .343. 12 for 35. Swings and misses through a fastball outside. And he's down on strikes on 3 pitches. Second strikeout of the day for Austin Kitchen.
So far, a pitcher's duel at Spillane Field. Nice swing and miss pitch from Kitchen. It's the breaking ball.
Kitchen came in to this game. He had a 1-2 record with a 4.11 ERA. Only walked 4 batters so far in swing and a miss by John Topa. He only walked 4 batters through 15 1/3 innings coming into this outing. Cotuit fielded quite a different pitching style in the first game. This one grounded to the right side under the glove of the first baseman Tolia and into right field for a base hit. John Topa has himself a 1-out single in the second inning. Hit number 35 on the season for him. And the Gatemen are trying to cook something up in the kitchen.
Nice slap hit from John Topa. That's what he does. That's what he's done all season long, is find a way to get on base. And if it's just a little slap hit to the opposite field, he'll do that for you.
It was Mark Moclair coming in to start for Cotuit in the earlier game against Hyannis. He got rocked in 1 1/3 innings. I actually made my way out to McKeon Park. The first pitch to Jake Anchia, low and inside, 1-0, and got to watch some of that game. Moclair did not have himself a good day. Hyannis was able to score 4 runs in the second inning on a bases-clearing double from Ford Proctor. 1-0 on Jake Anchia. And they try to pick off John Topa instead. He kind of sidesteps back to first base. What do they call that? Scissor kicking back when you cross your legs over?
I think so.
It looks like that was the motion that he was doing. And Chia, a righty, hit an absolute bomb out to left yesterday. He takes a strike on the outside corner. Looked like a fastball, maybe a 2-seamer from Austin Kitchen with slight movement away from the righty batter.
Well, it was a bomb at Orleans Eldridge Park.
It was still a bomb.
It was.
I'm hearing that it looked like it might have gone 360 to 380.
All right.
So it most likely would have left the park at Spillane. Actually, guarantee would have left. It's only 315 down there. That pitch outside, or excuse me, inside. 2-1. And Chia is your new Gatemen RBI leader as well. He has 18 of them this season. So Cotuit, they were in danger. They only had 6 pitchers to work with all day today, and they used 3 of them in the first game, but they were in danger of maybe using more. That pitch low in the dirt, 3-1 on Anchia. They didn't get a good outing from Jace Vancina and Taylor Lemon, but they got exactly what they needed from those two. Vancina out of Michigan goes 4 scoreless innings and gives up 3 hits. Taylor Lemon only gives up 3 hits in 3 2/3 scoreless innings. And Chia steps out of the box, readjusting his batting helmet and his hair, and now steps in. So they not only does Cotuit help themselves with a win, they help the Gatemen by defeating the Harbor Hawks this morning. Another pickoff attempt at first. Topa well aware and goes back to the base. And Cotuit, they must be exhausted. They played 11 innings yesterday against the Falmouth Commodores. They lost that one in the bottom of the 11th on a game-winning walk-off single from George Yancha from Texas A&M. Here's the 3-1. Upstairs in a 5-pitch walk to Jake Anchia. First and second in the second inning. And the catcher, Martellini, is going to go out and talk to Austin Kitchen on the mound.
Yeah, try to settle down your pitcher a little bit. Lets up the slap single to Topa. Now walks Anchia. Runners on base here for the Wareham Gatemen, and a guy that's been your cleanup hitter all season long is dropped to the 7-hole yesterday and today. We'll see what he can do.
Willie McIver, in his last 5 games, is just 1 for 21. Really trying to bring himself back to where he was hitting the beginning of the season, where he was having a monster year. Earned himself an all-star bid. First pitch, two-seamer, inside corner, 0-1. Good pitch there from Austin Kitchen. That's really where you want to work that two-seamer against these righties, is inside, jamming them inside, and then it ends up coming back in just a little bit, enough for an inside corner strike, and that was exactly what happened there from Austin Kitchen. McIver holds his bat over his right shoulder and swings and misses at a pitch that was a little bit low out of the strike zone. 0-2. And I mentioned yesterday, it's good to see him still being aggressive in the batter's box, even though he's struggling recently. Because sometimes when guys go through slumps, they end up kind of shelling in the batter's box. Not William McIver.
No, he wants to get better.
Staying aggressive up there for the Wareham Gatemen in the 7-hole. 0-2. In the dirt. Good stop by Martellini, preventing the runners from moving over. 1-2. McIver is the leader on this Gatemen team in hits and at-bats. 38 hits, 145 at-bats for the Washington Husky this season. There's another Washington Husky waiting in the hole right now. It's Ben Baird. And if the Gatemen can get to him in this inning, they likely will have scored a run. 1-2. Swing and a miss by Willie McIver. Chases a pitch low out of the zone. An off-speed pitch, 2 out. And another strikeout for McIver and another strikeout for Austin Kitchen, number 3 for him today.
Yeah, he got caught in the middle of his swing and he had to go around. Tried to stop it, but his momentum taking it over. And here comes Blake Sable, who has really been on the upward part of his Cape League summer. I mean, he has struggled recently as of a week and a half ago, but he's torn it up the past couple games.
He's been one of the best hitters in the past week for the Wareham Gatemen. This one grounded to short. Taken by the shortstop Avant. Fires over to first after thinking about getting the force at second, but decides to make the safe play across the diamond to Michael Tolia, and that'll retire the side in the second inning. The Gatemen get no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 men left. Let's go to the third. The Cotuit Cavaliers and the Wareham Gatemen tied at 0 in a crucial West Division matchup here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Continuing with our corporate sponsors, we also want to recognize and thank Franklin Sports, Advanced Embroidery, Cape Destinations, Robert B. R., Sullivan Tire, Vacation Inn Cape Cod, Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists, Cape Cod Times, Kinlan Grover Real Estate, Next Radio, Yellow Book, TSA, Rawlings, Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, Highline Cruises, Sports Picks, On Deck Sports, Barnstable Bat, Hyannis Area Chamber of Commerce, HP Hood, Sunderland Printing, and Axis Bats. And of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgentcare.
Welcome back. It's the third inning here in Wareham between the Kettleers and the Gatemen. Chandler Avant, the first batter for the boys in maroon. And Noah Zavalis back out on the mound. The first pitch is a fastball low, 1-0. Avant had a monster morning. So did a lot of the Cotuit lineup against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. They mounted 15 hits in that game. Swing and a miss, off-speed pitch from Zavalis on the inside part of the plate.
Funny how you say morning. You don't really say that too often in terms of baseball.
Was that the only day game this year? It might have been. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Pitch high out of the strike zone. Avant chases it upstairs. 1-2.
I believe the earliest game was 4 o'clock for a doubleheader, perhaps?
Avant went 4 for 5 with 4 runs batted in. And he takes a pitch in the dirt. 2-2. I mean, he just had a great day, had an RBI triple in that game. Had an RBI single as well that scored Vavra and Tolia. This one grounded up the middle. Moving to his left is Ben Baird. Spins and fires in time. What a play! Ben Baird flashing the defense again.
The second baseman, number 2, Luke Alexander from Mississippi.
Yeah, nice play from Ben Baird. He spins, fading away from the bag, and throw is a little bit off. Throw is a little bit off to the right, but nice snag from Sable over there at first.
Pitch inside to Luke Alexander. Alexander, a righty batter, facing Zavalis. Outside corner, 1-1. Wow, Ben Baird. We've seen him make good defensive plays this year. That might have been the best one so far. That's such a hard play to make, spinning around and throwing at the same time.
Can't confirm.
1-1. Fouled off the left foot of Alexander. He's a little bit shaken up, but walking it off. He seems to be okay. A lot better than the injury that Brandon Riley sustained off a foul ball off his foot at Spillane Field on Saturday for the Orleans Firebirds. He had to get pinch hit for, but then returned to action as a pinch hitter on Sunday for Orleans. Swing and a miss, breaking ball. Luke Alexander chases a pitch way inside. He had to back away from that one. And it's the third strikeout for Noah Zavalis here in the third inning. 2 down.
It's that breaking ball that's been working so well for him early on in this outing. Much improved from last time out.
Inning number, let me do math really quick. Inning number 23, this is for Cotuit since last night. Lined up the middle, this one's going to drop for a base hit. It's tailing away from Quan, but he's able to cut it off. And stopping at first with a 2-out single is Zach Cohn. The first hit of the day off Zavalis, then it comes from the 9-hitter Cohn, who is kind of deceiving there in that 9-hole. He's one of the best hitters on this team out of Duke.
I've noticed the Cotuit dugout has been very pumped up today. They've been yelling since they got here off the bus.
Well, they're probably hyped. You know, they've already played a game today. They're in the mode, and they've kind of been in the mode since, you know, this morning.
I mean, that's tough. A 12 o'clock game and then a 6:30 start.
Yeah, it's an MLB style doubleheader for sure.
But facing two different teams.
You know, even in the minors, even in the MILB, pitch comes in, fouled straight back by Conine. That ball was traveling at about 8,000 miles per hour when it flew by us. 0-1. Even in the MILB, they play 7-inning doubleheaders when they play doubleheaders. You know, it's not something that happens that often until you get to the major league level, and it's really tough for these guys. Pickoff attempt to Blake Sable, not in time to beat Zach Cohn. Another Duke Blue Devil at the plate. It's Griffin Conine, one of the top hitters in the Cape Cod Baseball League. West Division All-Star Game MVP this season. Hit a home run in that game here at Spillane Field. Pitch outside, 1-1. Do you remember where that ball went? You were calling the game.
Right field and into the trees.
That's a bomb. went into the trees.
Yeah, it was something special to watch. It shot out of here.
1-1. Low to Conine. 2-1. Zavalis keeping his pitch count down here in the third inning, and I want to jinx it, but there are 2 outs in the third. That was pitch number 36. Here's number 37. It's a breaking ball on the inside corner for a strike, 2-2. And Zavalis has already retired Conine once via flyout. It was on the first pitch of the game.
Yeah, this at bat taking a little bit longer than the first one.
Conine has 48 hits this season, .322 batting average. Here's the pitch, line back up the middle for a base hit. Stopping at second is Zach Cohn, and the Duke Blue Devils have caused Noah Zavalis some trouble. Duke on second in Zach Cohn, Duke on first in Griffin Conine. Grayson Genista is next.
And he's dangerous. This is a very tough situation for Zavalis right now. Genista coming in tied 7th in the league in batting average with .318. And he can slap an opposite field base hit, which would more than likely score Cohn. So be careful with your pitch selection here if you're Zavalis.
First runner in scoring position for the Kettleers. First base runners of any sort in this inning. That fastball inside corner. Backing away from it was Genista, but it's a strike, 0-1. Genista is now the lone Wichita State shocker in this Cape League after Alec Boehm of the Falmouth Commodores decided to go home after quite a season. Fouled away. He was your MVP pick from the West Division.
Yeah, I can't help that. It was injuries.
No longer here. 0-2 coming up to Genista. And boy, will they make a good combo out at Wichita State, Boehm and Genista. And watch out for them out of the Missouri Valley Conference. 0-2. Fake pickoff attempt from Zavalis. He checks on the runner at second. That's Zach Cohn, but steps back onto the mound.
Conine making a case for MVP.
Absolutely. I would say he's the front runner at this point from the West Division.
Would you have said that if Boehm was still here?
I don't know. And I also think that Tanner Dodson deserves some consideration, but he's unfortunately no longer here as well. This one grounded to the shortstop, Ben Baird. He's going to go across the diamond to first. It's wide. And coming around to third and scoring is Zach Cohns. Coming around third and heading home and scoring from first is Griffin Conine. At third on the error is the hitter Grayson Genista. It's 2 runs scored for the Cotuit Kettleers. They lead it now 2-0 on a throwing error from Ben Baird.
That is something we have not seen in a little bit here from the Wareham Gatemen. Ben Baird just last inning made a spectacular play to retire Chandler Avant with the spin, and this time throwing over was way off. That throw by Baird the first time when he retired Avant was a little bit off, the same spot that it was off in this throw. It was just that Sable was not able to catch this one.
That was a very costly error from the Gatemen shortstop. We mentioned defense playing a huge role. That pitch swung on and missed by Dillard. Tried to check his swing but couldn't pull it back. 0-1 on the lefty, and just very costly. It's a 2-run error right there. The inning could have been over. Here's the 0-1 in the dirt. Under McIver, he can't find it, but staying at third is Genista. We mentioned uncharacteristic of Baird. He's played really good defense this year. Here's a pitch inside. 1-1. And Mike Roberts at third base is yelling at home plate umpire Vicente Alexander Medina because he thought Zavalis balked on that pitch with Genista really fooling around over there at third base. And now Medina is walking over to Roberts, and they have met halfway. And now they're barking at each other.
This is great. This is great. I mean, Genista was dancing on third. He was kind of on his way to go home, and now Mike Roberts really laying into the home plate umpire, Medina. And we've already seen one ejection in the Cape Cod Baseball League today. Chad Gassman of Hyannis was ejected. Don't think that that's going to happen here, but Roberts really upset right now.
It doesn't look like he's going to get ejected. It looks like he's kind of calmed himself so he can stay in this game.
For a second, I thought that wasn't going to be the case.
I was at the game earlier where Gassman got ejected, and he was basically asking the home plate umpire eject me because he was arguing a ball strike call on the inside part of the plate, and it really wasn't even close. But Gassman walks up to the umpire and yells at him, and when he got ejected, he he wasn't phased. And Mike Roberts looks at Medina and says, "You're just wrong." But Medina makes his way back to the umpire box behind home plate.
Well, Medina being very, very nice right now to Roberts. He could have easily ejected him.
Well, we'll see how that pans out for the rest of the game. Zavalis, the righty, deals outside, and it's a 3-1 count coming up.
He's still jabbing, too. Now Steven Drescher over the third base umpire right now. He is upset.
Here's the 3-1. Someone yells balk as the pitch comes in, and it comes in outside to Thomas Dillard, and he walks down to first base. Runners on the corners. Really tough for Noah Zavalis. You give up a few hits, and you could be out of this inning. But unfortunately, the defense behind you does not help, and now you got 2 runs across, and now runners on the corners for Michael Tolia, the cleanup hitter.
Mike Roberts' 14th season with the Kettleers. Coached here in Wareham in 1984 and in 2000, so he knows Spillane Field very well.
Pickoff attempt at first. Sale throws it right back to Zavalis. Genista is on third. Dillard is on first. The batter is Michael Tolia out of UCLA, who grounded out to second in the second inning. Takes a ball outside, 1-0. 2-0 Kettleers, top half of the third. Here's the pitch inside, 2-0 to Tolia. The Gatemen have scored first in their last 3 games. The last time they didn't score first was here in Wareham against the Brewster Whitecaps. And Gatemen, in that game, the Gatemen still scored in the second inning, but the Whitecaps, they scored in the top half of the second inning right before. Runner goes. He doesn't go. He fakes towards second, then heads back to first. Swung on and missed by Tolia. 2-1. Home plate umpire Medina defending himself on that balk argument. We'll get to that in a second, although the ball is flown out to center field right to Stephen Kwan. Makes the play to retire the side. So, 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, 2 men left for the Kettleers, and 1 big argument between home plate umpire Vicente Alexander Medina and the third base coach and manager Mike Roberts. Let's send it to Connor Federico for a Cape League update.
Little crazy turn of events there, gentlemen. But as you mentioned earlier, Chad Gassman did get ejected earlier in the day. Cotuit beat the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 11-4. That was a 3-hour game. Started at 12, ended at 3. Let's move to the one other game that's currently in action. In the bottom of the 7th, the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox, they lead the West Division's Bourne Braves by a score of 3-1. In the 4th, it was YD who struck early with a Luke Miller single. Then in the 6th, Bourne struck back a Grant Witherspoon RBI double scored Grant Williams. And then in the bottom of the 6th, Alfonso Rivas came back with a solo homer to give YD the lead. But since, actually the score is 5-1 now, a little scoring in the bottom of the 7th as I'm talking to you about this. Nico Horner scored on a single to make it 3-1, and then Carlos Cortez hit a ground ball in the infield that turned into 2 runs for YD magically, similar to what happened in this game. So I guess some sloppy play in the defense throughout the Cape League right now, Sam and Jacob. That's the only other game in progress right now. It was supposed to be an off day for many of these teams, including the Gatemen, but here we are playing today. Back to you guys.
Well, you mentioned that Grant Williams driving in Grant Witherspoon. That's one of my favorite moments of the year was when Grant Wolfram was pitching to Grant Williams with Grant Witherspoon on first base.
That's why I mentioned it, Sam.
There was nothing better than that. Wolfram may be coming into this game later. We won't spoil it for you. Ben Baird is the batter. He's the 9-hitter and fouls it away to the right side. You know he's looking for some redemption after that throwing error, coming off a really good day yesterday and went 3 for 4 with an RBI.
Yeah, good to see Baird have some success in that game versus the best team in the CCBL. Made an impact.
Here's the pitch from the righty to the righty. Outside, 1-1. Baird out of Washington. He was not a starter for the Huskies this year, but kind of playing behind another Cape Leaguer, A.J. Graffinino, on the left side. William McIver has played some third base with the Huskies as well. 1-1. Flown out to right center. Moving over is Griffin Conine, and he gets under it, reaches up with one hand, and makes the catch for out number 1.
It's funny.
Gatemen have made it through the first round of their lineup, and 1 hit, 1 walk. No runs.
It's funny, Sam Corman, that fly ball out to right field, Griffin Conine, tiptoeing, making it look so easy. I was out there today shagging BP, and man, that would have taken me years to run and get to, and they make it look so easy out there, but in reality, baseball is a very hard game to play.
It certainly is. Tracking fly balls, 2-seamer way upstairs to Stephen Kwan, 1-0. Kwan struck out swinging back in the first. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball hangs up there way up high at the shoulders. 2-0. Here comes the 2-0 to Stephen Kwan. Up high, 3-0 at the letters. Kwan waiting for a pitch to hit. And he steps in as a lefty. Here comes the 3-0. Lefty-lefty matchup up high. 4-pitch walk for the Gatemen leadoff guy and the Gatemen center fielder, Stephen Kwan.
Nice at bat there from Kwan, who was 0 for 4 yesterday. Did have a walk and a run scored.
Kwan's 10th walk of the season.
Like Don Sneddon said, he is a pest, and he'll get on base in a multitude of different ways.
Robbie Metz steps in. Righty batter facing a lefty in Austin Kitchen. Metz grounded out to second in the pickoff attempt back to Kwan at first base. Nothing doing. Robbie Metz, bent knee batting stance. Waves the bat over his shoulder. Another kind of nifty pickoff attempt at first base from Austin Kitchen. And once again, Kwan just jogs back. Kitchen gets set in the stretch. Here's the first pitch to Metz. Outside corner, 0-1. 2-seamer just plants in there Mets having a nice conversation with the Boston College catcher, Gian Martellini.
An eagle.
Mets was second on his George Washington team in batting average this season with a mark well over 330. That pickoff attempt at first base not in time. The Gatemen coming into this game. Here's the pitch outside. The Gatemen coming into this game have a pretty even record against the Kettleers this season. They lost 4-0 back at Cotuit earlier this season, but they almost also won a game 11-0 there. They've won 4-1 here at Wareham. They won 1-0 in Cotuit. This one popped up down the right field line. On the run is Tolia. He looks over it, and it bounces in foul territory, and Mets stays alive 1-2. This game was rescheduled from July 13th. I had already written the lineup into my book.
Read it
it's just
for
a
us.
blank page in the middle. Well, Kwan was supposed to lead off. Dodson, Kasser, McIver, Pompey, and Shea, Duran, Baird, Angelini. Some of those guys had to go home for various reasons, but, similar players. Mason Fioli was scheduled to pitch that game.
Well, he's still here.
He is. He's been one of the best pitchers on this staff. He's been here since the beginning. Started opening day. Inside pitch, swung on and missed by Robbie Metz. Did not get a piece of it. And he's down back to the bench. 2 away with 1 on.
Baseman number 13, Kyle Kasser from Oregon.
Kyle Kasser steps in.
Thought Stephen Kwan would maybe be off in that at bat at some point, down to second base, but no movement.
He hasn't been that aggressive on the bases this season. He has some speed. You would like to see him be a little bit more aggressive. 8 for 12 with stolen bases. Lefty Kyle Kasser, another pickoff attempt, and Kwan has yet to have to be forced to slide into one of those pickoff moves. I think he's become a lot more aware over there at first base, considering his history of being picked off this season. Lefty-lefty matchup, another pickoff attempt, and Kwan once again walking back to first. Kitchen has attempted about 5 pickoff moves on him since he got on first. Kasser only has 3 extra base hits this season. Looking for his 4th. Here's a lefty-lefty pitch, and it's slapped out to left field. Right to Thomas Dillard, and he squeezes the glove to retire the side in the 3rd inning. The Gatemen get no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 man left. Let's go to the 4th. The Gatemen need to come back. They're down 2-0 to the Cotuit Kettleers here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgentcare. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Welcome back. Gatemen and the Kettleers in action. in the fourth inning. Miles Lewis is going to start it off for the Kettleers against Noah Zavalis, who's back out for his fourth inning of work. He's given up 2 runs. Both of them were unearned on a Ben Baird error. That pitch inside. 1-0. Zavalis, 35 strikes, 16 balls so far after that one. Keeping his ERA low because both of those runs being unearned do not count towards the ERA, and 26 strikeouts as well this season for Zavalis, trying to add to that total. 1-0. In there at the belt. 1-1. Miles Lewis, the batter, struck out looking his first time up in the second inning. One. Slapped out right to Ben Baird. He squeezes the glove on the line drive and makes the play for out number 1. One away in the fourth for Gian Martellini. Martellini is 0 for 1, struck out back in the second from Boston College. Here he comes. First pitch is a fastball low, 1-0. The biggest thing with Zavalis is when he has given up runs this season, he's been able to limit the damage, and right now he could really help himself. That breaking ball swung on and missed. 1-1 on Martellini, inside pitch.
Yeah, his appearances, earned runs-wise, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. He's been very good.
This one grounded softly to Ben Baird at short. He fields the rolling baseball, fires across the diamond to Blake Sable, who stretches out to make that play, 2 away.
Yeah, he had to stretch out again. That's the third time Ben Baird's throw has been off to the left of first base, but Sable does a nice job of reeling it in for out number 2. But yeah, Zavalis, he's been so good out of this bullpen for Wareham, and now making his second start, or rather his third start.
Well, they needed someone to move into this rotation with all the starting pitching they lost. First pitch inside and low to Chandler Avant, 1-0.
And he also is another guy who can possibly step into the lineup if you needed him to. Not today, obviously, because he's pitching, but was a high school shortstop back in the day.
Avant has 15 RBIs as of this morning. He had 11 going into today and had 4 this morning. Here's the 1-1. In there for a strike, 1-2. Two away in the fourth. Zavalis working into his fourth inning of work here, trying to get out of this pretty quickly. This inning just started. And calling for time is home plate umpire Vicente Alexander Medina. A lot of syllables. 3, 4, 5,
Vicente
6,
Alexander Medina.
9 syllables in that name. This one is popped straight up in the air. Moving backwards is Sable. The second baseman, Duran, has the angle. Moving over towards the line and making the grab for out number 3. 1-2-3 inning for Noah Zavalis. Let's go to the bottom half of the fourth. 2-0 in favor of Cotuit here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com. Or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday. Second baseman, number 10, Jaron Duran from Long Beach State.
Welcome back. Bottom half of the fourth inning. This one grounded up to the middle to the second baseman, and Alexander flips it over to Tolia for out number one. One pitch, one out. Jaron Duran is retired by his fellow number 4.
Left fielder, number 14, John Topa from Yukon.
John Topa steps in. Left fielder has 10 runs batted in this season. He's 1 for 1 with the Gatemen's only hit today. It came back in the second inning. He advanced into scoring position on a Anchia walk, but was unable to do anything after that. This one bunted foul. We've seen Topa lay down some beauteous bunts and get on first base with it this season at various times. Shout out to Soccer Boss 1212 who says hi.
Hello. Welcome.
Righty John Topa has an open batting stance, wearing some black and white fresh Under Armour cleats. That pitch caught on the outside corner by Martellini, who was in a stretched out catcher's position, 0-2. Likes to stick out that right leg when he sets up outside. Lefty Austin Kitchen with a blue Cotuit Kettleers hat with that script C. 0-2. Fouled away by John Topa. Kitchen wearing 38 for Cotuit.
Does that mean he has 38 appliances in the kitchen?
Stop. Yes. 0-2. Low in the dirt, 1-2.
How many times does he get made fun of for that name? I'm not making fun of it.
I don't think he gets made fun of. I think
I think maybe made fun of was not the right phrase, but definitely talked about.
Well, he likes to, cook things up on the mound. Let's just put it that way. 1-2 coming into Topa, the righty. Popped up, shallow right field, coming on Conine, and he reaches up and makes the grab. He actually barely moved to make that play. It looked like he was not playing baseball, but maybe, stargazing when he made that play, and it makes it look that easy. 2 away.
But again, it's not that easy.
Kind of Andrew Jones style, where he just stands there and reaches his glove up one hand. Never uses the other backup hand, as you're taught throughout the Little League years. Kitchen, the Louisville Slugger All-American back in 2016 as a freshman. This one sent out to center field on the first pitch to Anchia. Right to Miles Lewis, who stands under it to retire the side for the Kettleers. Quite an inning for Austin Kitchen. Gets in and out, and his pitch count remains low. Let's go to the 5th inning. The Gatemen still trail the Kettleers 2-0 here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Mr. Brian Clue and Smartco Services LLC, located in Taunton, Massachusetts, for being the official sponsors of the Gatemen Player Development Program. The Player Development Program aims to improve both the players' and interns' skills and prepares them for a career in professional baseball. Again, a sincere thank you to Mr. Brian Clue and Smartco Services.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
Welcome back. Luke Alexander is to lead off for the Kettleers. Top half of the 5th inning. Gatemen trailing 2-0 to their West Division rival. Game 6 of 6 between these two teams. First pitch from Zavalis is going to come in to the righty Alexander, and it's swung on, grounded to the shortstop. Ben Baird fields it with one glove over to first in time. Good play by Baird at shortstop. We've seen him make an error over there, but he's recovered nicely. And one down in the 5th to Luke Alexander.
Zach Cohn from Duke.
Yeah, I like what you said when Cohen first came up, Sam, and he's batting 9th, but one of the better prospects we have here on the Cape. The Duke Blue Devil was an all-star this year for the Kettleers.
2 home runs so far for Cohn. Takes a ball low, 1-0. 11 runs batted in as well for the third baseman. That was before today began. So we'll see. He was not in the lineup in the game against Hyannis this morning. Ground ball to Sable. Flips to Noah Zavalis, who's covering the bag as the pitcher. And there's 2 down in the 5th. Quick outs for Zavalis. He had 60 pitches coming into this inning, and he's keeping it low with 2 down already.
He's doing his job. He's working quickly. The 2-run score on the error by Ben Baird, not because of Noah Zavalis. And he's doing what he needs to do to win this ballgame right now. The offense just needs to pick him up a little bit.
44 strikes, 19 balls for Zavalis. Leadoff guy, Griffin Conine, back at the plate. He's 1 for 2. Slapped a single to center back in the 3rd. Also scored the Cotuit's 2nd run. This one grounded fair ball down the first base line, and it rolls to the right fielder, Robbie Metz. Conine's going for 2. Metz throws in. It's way over the head of the shortstop, Ben Baird. Robbie Metz just wanted to show off his cannon out there in the outfield. He's been eager to do that all season. But Griffin Conine's in with a stand-up double with 2 outs.
Ball was hit pretty well by Conine. I mean, he has some of the best raw power we have seen this summer, for sure. It's not funny is what it is.
That's a well-placed ground ball past Blake Sable. Hard hit down the first base line. And Grayson Genista is the perfect player to follow that kind of extra base hit up. That's why they have these guys 1-2. So you can have an extra base hit, or Griffin Conine. I mean, he can also run. Have him steal second. He has 3 stolen bases this season. Cotuit has not been that aggressive on the base paths at all. Zavalis throws over to first to Sable to see if Conine missed first base. And they confirm that he doesn't. First base umpire Steven Durantz is the one to spoil the party for Noah Zavalis. 2 out. He's now in the stretch. The righty pitcher facing the lefty Grayson Genista. First pitch outside. Fastball 1-0. Wow. Noah Zavalis looks very young in that photo. There's a photo here of Zavalis signing his commitment letter, his letter of intent to play at Harvard. And he just looks like a youngster. from North Shore, Boston. This one grounded to the second baseman, Jaron Duran. Easy play over to first to retire Grayson Genista. 3 down in the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left in scoring position for the Kettleers. Halfway through this one already, let's go to the bottom half of the 5th. The Gatemen trying to work a comeback on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Welcome back to the Gatemen Baseball Network. I'm Claudia Chikamian with a quick game break. So as we know, the Gatemen are very limited on their hitters, only 9 position players. Once again, they dealt with it pretty well last night, as we know. They're only down by 2 right now, so hopefully they can make a comeback. But let's talk about what Cotuit is dealing with. They're very limited on their pitchers. They had a very late night last night. Game went 11 innings where they fell at Falmouth. They played the game this morning at Hyannis. They went into that game with only 6 pitchers available for both of today's games. So we didn't know how many they had. They used 3 pitchers today or this morning. Right now, we've seen Austin Kitchen on the mound to start. They said they also will likely see Kyle Kemp and Michael Byrne as also a possibility to pitch in today's game. But they said that's about it. They really don't have any other depth right now on the pitching staff. So we'll have to see what they can do. Kitchen has pitched very well for them, keeping the Gatemen scoreless, and that's exactly what these Kettleers need. We'll see what else they can do. Back to you guys.
Definitely an interesting story with the Kettleers only having 3 pitchers to use today. Byrne and Kemp are the other ones, and they're very good, especially Michael Byrne from the University of Florida. And Austin Kitchen has done a really nice job. We remember one outing here with the Kettleers and the Gatemen. Bunt laid down by McIver. He tries to beat it out and unable to. Fielded easily by the pitcher Kitchen, fires it over to first, 1 away. McIver trying to use some small ball to get onto first base because he hasn't been hitting well, and sometimes that can change things up a little bit.
Yeah, he tried to get on base with the bunt. We know he has speed, second in the league in stolen bases, but that time doesn't work. And it's tough to see him struggle right now. He was one of your better hitters for 2/3 of the season, and he's going through a slump.
Blake Sable takes ball 1 outside, 1-0 from Kitchen. And you know, I was mentioning we saw an 117 pitch performance from a Kettleer here at Spillane Field. It was Zane Collins that threw a shutout against the Gatemen in a very rare performance. Pitch to Sable's outside, 2-0. I mean, you rarely see a complete game on the Cape. We've seen 2 this year. At Spillane, once was Tyler Baum of the Harwich Mariners. Zane Collins of the Cotuit Kettleers did it as well. Pitch in there for a strike to Sable, 2-1. As I try to dig back through the archives to find Zane Collins' incredible performance. Here's the 2-1. Sable went around on a pitch outside of the strike zone, 2-2. It was a 9-inning per 6-hit shutout for Collins back on July 3rd. This one popped up foul and out of play towards the Gatemen batting cages over there down the first base line. 2-2 remains the count on the lefty Blake Sable. Zane Collins struck out 8 in that game, only walked 1 batter. The Gatemen just could not solve Collins at all in that game at a right state. And at that point in the season, the Gatemen were 8-11. And here they find themselves on the season 17-22-1. Sable swings and misses at a high fastball. And he strikes out swinging. Strikeout number 5 on the day for Austin Kitchen. 2 down in the 5th. So you have to wonder if Mike Roberts is willing to use Kitchen as deep as he used Collins.
I mean, why not when you only have, what, 3 pitchers available for this game today? After using 3 versus Hyannis, I mean, you're definitely thinking about bringing him into at least the 6th.
First pitch to Ben Baird. It's going to help the pitch count. It's grounded to the first baseman, Tolia, who flips it to the pitcher, Kitchen, to retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning for Austin Kitchen. He's been dealing today through 5 innings. He's retired the last 8 batters in the Gatemen lineup. Let's go to the 6th inning. 2-0 Cotuit here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like their hand-breaded crispy fish tacos with cilantro lime rice. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgentcare. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgentcare.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Noah Zavalis has taken his outing into the 6th inning here, top half of that 6th frame, and he's given up no earned runs this game. However, an error from the shortstop, Ben Baird, has the Cotuit Kettleers up 2-0 on the Gatemen in the top half of the 6th. Thomas Dillard swings at the first pitch, flies it out deep left. On the run, John Topa, he's at the track, he's at the wall, and it goes off his glove at the warning track. In the second is Thomas Dillard with a double, or we don't know what it will be yet, but it could be an E7. We'll find out. It is definitely an E7 on John Topa. So the second error of the game allows another runner into scoring position for the Kettleers. Defense makes huge differences in these Cape League games. Right now, the game would be tied at 0 if Ben Baird did not make that error. And right now, you have a runner in scoring position for Cotuit because of that drop ball by John Topa.
I give him a lot of credit, though, for getting a glove on that ball. That was a tough read by Topa out in left field, just missing it.
In there for a strike to Tolia. The Gatemen had a stretch this season where they went 15 consecutive games in which the team with more errors ended up being the team that lost. Recently, they have not been committing errors in that pitch outside 1-1. They were losing games in that 7-game winning streak without, or 7-game losing streak, excuse me, while playing some solid defense. 1-1. But right now, Zavalis, he's been phenomenal. It's been the defense behind him that's allowed Cotuit to jump out to this lead. 1-1. Showing bunt is Tolia, the lefty, but he pulls it back. The pitch is low. 2-1. Tolia's 0 for 2. Going to come up. Zavalis in the stretch. Tolia shows bunt again. Gets it down right in front of home plate. Zavalis over to first base to the second baseman, Jaron Duran. And the throw back to third to try to catch Dillard sleeping is not going to work. A sacrifice bunt for Tolia to move the runner over. One down. Runner 90 feet away. It's Thomas Dillard.
Small ball, it works, and now Miles Lewis has a chance to drive in another run. Infield is in on the grass right now.
Protecting that third run. Miles Lewis, the batter. Another lefty for the Kettleers. First pitch showing bunt. And McIver blocks a pitch in the dirt as Lewis pulls back. 1-0. Lewis out of Michigan. 7 runs batted in this season. 15 strikeouts, 5 walks. Zavalis in the stretch. Here's the pitch. Outside corner. 1-1. Lewis thought about swinging, but it looked like by the time he thought about it, the pitch was already in the glove of McIver. Good pitch from Zavalis coming outside in. Sixth inning, 1 out. 2-0 Cotuit. Zavalis steps off. And now time is called as Miles Lewis wants to have a chat with Mike Roberts. Heads back to the box.
Just not long ago that Mike Roberts was arguing with the home plate umpire.
Things have settled down since then.
Yeah, I mean, completely different time in this ball game right now.
1-1 on Miles Lewis, the center fielder. Lewis 6'1", 205, shows bunt, pulls it back. The pitch is low. 2-1. Bunt laid down and goes foul from Lewis. Unable to get that suicide squeeze attempt on, or safety squeeze attempt on. The suicide would be Thomas Dillard breaking towards home before the pitch. Zavalis throwing out the 2-2. Called strike 3. The pitch is on the corner. A huge strikeout for Noah Zavalis. Number 4 on the day for him. It's brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exofaros, and Bullard.
Nice pitch. Freezing up Lewis. Low in the zone, just at the knees. See ya.
And now he's got to face John Martellini, 1 out away from getting out of this runner on third, 1 out jam. Runner on second, nobody out jam. With Thomas Dillard's leadoff error, that put him at second. Martellini takes a breaking ball low, 1-0. Boston College product, 208. .52 starts for the Golden Eagles this year, hit .302. That pitch on the inside corner, 1-1. That pitch coming from the inside part of the batter's box back in towards the inside corner. Martellini, one of the best defensive catchers in this Cape Cod League, but right now at the plate with 35 runs batted in at BC this year. Swings and misses at an off-speed pitch outside, 1-2.
This is the biggest pitch right here of the ball game for Zavalis. Runner at third, could be the third run of the day for the Kettleers, or it could get you out of this inning. You're 1 strike away with 2 outs here in the 6th.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. John Martellini goes down swinging. Noah Zavalis gets his 5th of the day, and it gets out of the jam. It's brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exofaros, and Bullard, and the Kettleers get no runs on no hits. 1 error, 1 man left, 90 feet away at third base. Let's go to the bottom half of the 6th. the Gatemen trying to make a comeback. They're down 2-0, but first, Connor Federico.
Hello, Sam and Jacob. Tough spot for Noah Zabalis to get out right there, and he certainly does. Score 2-0 here in Wareham. As Sam just told you, the final is 5-1. YD defeats the Bourne Braves. Now let's look at the standings. Right now, the Falmouth Commodores, they stand in first place. The Cotuit Cavaliers in this game in second. Bourne, they keep at 40 points. If Wareham finds a way to win this game tonight and get 37 points and their 18th win of the season, they'd only be 3 points behind Bourne and 4 points behind Cotuit. So moving closer to third and second place rather than last place. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks have 33 points right now. They lost earlier in the day. Right now, the Gatemen and the Cavaliers, the only teams in action. Back to you guys.
Wow. It's certainly coming down to the wire here in the West Division, and on the other end of that, if the Cavaliers hold on to this victory, they're all of a sudden tied with Falmouth for the first position, and in all likelihood, the Gatemen will be playing the first place team.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. You're looking at first place right now. Who are you most likely going to play? Because, yes, you can get to third. Probably more likely that you'll stay in the fourth spot. If you are Wareham, I believe you'd rather play Cotuit. I know it's been tough today so far, but there's still time to change. But Falmouth, they're pretty good.
They're both good.
They're good, but Falmouth has been better this season, and at their ballpark, pretty tough to beat them.
Absolutely. They're so used to hitting 10 home runs a game at Go Fuller Field that it could be pretty tough to go in there and defeat the Commodores. To lead off the bottom of the sixth, it's going to be the leadoff guy, Stephen Kwan. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Austin Kitchen is back on the mound. And the first pitch to Kwan outside, 1-0. Kitchen has thrown 55 pitches, and this is the sixth inning. It's pretty impressive stuff.
He has not needed many appliances tonight.
1-0. Back up the middle, off the knee of Kitchen, goes to third, but Zach Cohn has to eat it. It's a base hit for Stephen Kwan, using some pinball moves to get over to first. Leadoff single for him. And Robbie Metz is now set with a runner on, nobody out.
Tough shot off the foot. Hope he's okay, because he looks to be just fine.
And once again, Stephen Kwan, being the leadoff guy, doing his job, just finding a way on base.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how.
He was hitting .323 coming into today. And now it's probably higher, going 1 for 2 so far. Hit number 31 for him. First pitch, outside to the righty Robbie Metz. Looked like a little bit of a pitch out, but it probably was not planned. Caught by Martellini, thrown right back. Lefty-righty matchup. The lefty being the pitcher, Kitchen. Here's the pitch. Outside, and Metz tries to slap it out opposite field, but it goes foul. 1-1. Here's the pitch to Metz. Breaking ball, fouled away. That looks like a good pitch to hit from here. But he was unable to get a hold of it. 1-2. Kwan, before this game, was .375 as the leadoff hitter in an inning. Now he's 1 for 2 today in that situation. Here's the pitch to Metz. Driven out to dead center. Moving back is Miles Lewis. Makes the catch, and Stephen Kwan has to retreat back to first. 1 down in the sixth. Kyle Kasser,
The third baseman,
lefty, steps in.
Kyle Kasser from Oregon.
This is a guy that's 0 for 2 today, but has the ability to advance Quan. Maybe a little hit and run action here with 1 out.
Lefty Kyle Kasser from Oregon. Quan on first. Haven't seen the Gatemen be aggressive on the base pass today, but they also haven't had many base runners today. Quan is just the 4th base runner for the Gatemen in this game. 2 of them came from walks. Only 1 of them made it to scoring position. It was John Topa back in the 2nd. 1-0 on Kasser. Takes a pitch low in the dirt. Martellini makes that pick look so easy, and he heads back to the mound to talk to Austin Kitchen. Martellini had a .997 field percentage with BC this season as their starting catcher. You can see his chest protector and his knee pads, Golden Eagle, gold and in some sort of red. And I don't know exactly what red they call it over there at BC. It's a darker red, but not quite maroon. Cranberry, crimson. Here's the 2-0. Lefty-lefty matchup. Way upstairs at the letters, 3-0. And now this is the first time we've seen Austin Kitchen kind of show some sort of fatigue. Metz got a really good bat on that ball just to the wrong part of the park. And Kasser is on first with his, or excuse me, Quan is on first with that single. Here's the 3-0. In there at the belt for a strike, 3-1, two-seamer.
Josh Andrews in the bullpen for the Kettleers. Grant Wolfram still in the bullpen for the Gatemen.
Well, that's not one of the pitchers that Claudia Chikamian reported was going to be available for Cotuit. And here comes Mike Roberts to the mound. Although he likes to be kind of tricky out there, so we'll figure out what's going on.
Well, now the left fielder, Thomas Dillard, is going out to the bullpen in left field. Don't know what he's doing. He may have grabbed a baseball that fell. But we know Mike Roberts, yes, he'll take his time on the mound, buying time for his pitcher in the bullpen. And the home plate umpire, Medina, already going out there to break this one up. We know the history between him and Roberts today.
There is some. And as he gets there, they break up. And now he's got to walk all the way back. Or he's going to run. Showing some effort, getting back to his position behind home plate. I like to see that from the boys in blue. Sometimes in beige. Sometimes in black.
Depends on the weather.
Depends on the day. Kyle Kasser takes the 3-1 pitch, fouls it away straight back. Opposite field, 3-2 coming up. Good job by Kitchen working back in this count. 1 out, 1 on in the 6th inning. Gatemen trailing the Kettleers 2-0 here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Thank you for joining our live broadcast. Sam Corman and Jacob Toby with you today. Here's the pitch. Line through the left side for a base hit. Quan has to stop at second. And the tying run is on first base here in the 6th inning with 1 out. Kyle Kasser with a base hit, the second hit of the inning for the Gatemen. They've already outdone themselves for the entire previous 5 innings, getting 2 here in the 6th. They had 1 before this inning started.
Now Jaron Duran, your 4-hitter. He has struck out and grounded out, 0 for 2. But last night he hit 2 ground rule doubles. Both were very deep in the ballpark, and he's hit some deep ones this year. No home runs yet, but he's shown the ability to jack one out.
Mike Roberts back out on the mound. And it looks like he's looking towards the bullpen, hasn't signaled yet, and now here comes the relief pitcher on his way. We'll send it to break here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Don't miss a minute of this station's pre- and post-game sports talk. Tune in on your smartphone with the Next Radio app. It's live and it's local. Download the free Next Radio app from the Google Play Store today. Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen Youth Clinics. The instruction clinics are open to boys and girls between ages 4 and 15. The clinics are a great opportunity to meet and learn from some of the best collegiate players in the country. Clinics are held Monday through Friday, depending on the player's off day. For more information and to sign up your young ball player, visit www.gatemen.org. Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgent care.
The Fuller Family Foundation is proud to support the excellent sportsmanship and character of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. We are proud supporters of the CCBBL as well as many other wonderful Cape Cod organizations that serve our community.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Welcome back.
From Long Beach State.
One of the very few pitchers who had the opportunity of pitching in the national championship game 2, where Florida defeated LSU out in Omaha, is on the mound. Michael Byrne threw an inning and a third in that win for Florida to secure the national title, and he's going to come in relief of Austin Kitchen, who goes 5 1/3. First pitch to Duran is upstairs, 1-0. Gives up 3 hits. Strikes out 4, walks 2, but the earned runs at 0 right now, but 2 of them on base belong to him. Here's the pitch, 1-0, swung on and missed, 1-1.
And he pitched last time versus the Wareham Gatemen in the 4-0 win for Cotuit. Went an inning and a third, no earned, no hits, a walk and a K.
1-1. The count to Duran. That is nasty. That slider comes in there, 1-2. Way off the outside part of the plate. That's almost Griffin Roberts-like, that slider. Duran's 0 for 2 today. And this season he is hitting .240 with runners in scoring position. That pitch outside. 2-2. You talk about a guy stepping up to the occasion. He gets moved up into the cleanup spot, and he's just been phenomenal since then. He had 3 hits yesterday in Orleans, 2 of them being doubles, ground rule doubles. Swing and a miss by Duran. And he strikes out swinging. The first strikeout for Michael Byrne on the first batter he sees. 2 down, a big out for the Florida Gator.
Yeah, big out coming out of the bullpen. 2-2 count, breaking ball swung on and missed from Jaron Duran, and still have a chance here. John Topa, the slap single in the second inning. Part of a 1-for-2 day, and some speed over there at second base with Stephen Kwan.
Here's the first pitch to John Topa. He flies it out to right field down the line. On the run is Conine, and he gets over and makes the grab, and that will retire the side in the 6th inning. The Gatemen get no runs on 2 hits. No errors. They leave 2 men on base, one of them in scoring position. To the 7th we go. The Cotuit Kettleers are on top. It's 2-0 here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Cape Cod Baseball League is all about family, and it's all about fun. Friendly's is all about family and fun and is proud to sponsor the 2017 baseball season. Friendly's, life with extra sprinkles.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1991, holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 through 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, plus 400 have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams. It's all online at www.curry.edu.
Welcome back. Top half of the 7th inning. The Kettleers are working with a 2-0 lead. There's a new pitcher on the mound for the Wareham Gatemen. It is the Wolf. Some call him Wolfie. Grant Wolfram on the mound for the Wareham Gatemen out of Davenport College. And the first pitch is outside, 1-0. Wolfram 13-2 with a 3.28 ERA at Davenport in Grand Rapids, Michigan this season. Right at home, he's from the Grand Rapids area, from Hamilton, Michigan. 1-0, fouled straight back. 1-1 on Chandler Avant, the Alabama Crimson Tide shortstop, who is 4 for 7 today. 4 for 5 in his first game. 0 for 2 today. 11 runs batted in before that game, now has 15. That pitch upstairs, 2-1. Avant was hitting 181 before the day began with the Crimson Tide. Teammates of Chandler Taylor of the Brewster Whitecaps. That pitch fouled straight back, barely staying alive on a Wolfram fastball upstairs. Wolfram, a lefty, drafted by the Detroit Tigers out of home or out of high school. I asked him what it was like to be drafted by your hometown team. He said it was, incredible. He said it was tough to turn that down and to go on to Central Michigan instead of joining the Tigers organization. Here's the 2-2. Low and away, 3-2.
Yeah, 17th round in 2015, 520th overall.
But he said he'd love to, eventually get redrafted by the Tigers if that's possible in the end of his junior or senior year. Here's the payoff pitch. Flown out to shallow right. Moving back is the first baseman, Sable, and he makes the play just behind the end of the stone dust infield here at Spillane, 1 away.
Last saw Wolfram on the 25th of July here versus the Harbor Hawks. He took the loss. 2 1/3, 4 runs, 2 of them earned, a couple walks.
And speaking of Detroit Tigers draft picks, Wolfram talks about, hoping that he gets redrafted by his hometown team. They have a history of redrafting guys that they once drafted before. As the pitch comes into Luke Alexander, swung on and missed at a pitch outside, 0-1. This year, the first round, the Detroit Tigers chose to spend their pick on Alex Faedo from Florida, starting pitcher, one of the most elite pitchers in the country. And then this pitch lined out to the gap in left center. On the run, Topa. He watches it roll to the wall, cuts it off, and throws into second, but a stand-up double for Luke Alexander with 1 out in the 7th. Cotuit cooking something up on Wolfram here. So Faedo got drafted out of high school by the Tigers, and then after his junior year re-entered draft eligibility and once again got drafted by the Tigers. So they have a history of sticking to their guns a few years after they draft him for the first time. Faedo, of course, will be in the Tigers organization, as he chose not to go back to Florida for his senior year. I mean, he won the national championship anchoring that pitching squad, and he was unbelievable down the stretch for Florida. Luke Alexander takes a breaking ball outside, 1-0. We've seen Wolfram try some different mechanics, too. I asked him about that. He's gone with, he's tried the overhead approach occasionally, where you go over the head with your glove on the windup. Then was messing around, kind of going back to his normal mechanics. Changing things up here on the Cape, 1-0. Low and outside, 2-0. 1 out in the 7th, runner on second. Luke Alexander, who doubled just now into the gap.
At what point will it become consistent?
When he goes back to Davenport, I assume.
Trying some new stuff out here.
Absolutely. Under Coach Jim Lawler, that's one thing that he stresses a lot, is to, stretch your game out, see what you can do differently. And that pitch, breaking ball, comes back in on the outside corner, 2-1. Good pitch there from Wolfram. Zach Cohn, the batter, is 1 for 2. He has one of just 4 Cotuit hits today. Pretty surprising that they've only put together 4 hits, but some errors have helped him get on the scoreboard. Fastball outside from Wolfram. 3-1. Zach Cohn out of Duke. On deck, Duke's Griffin Conine. Cohn hit .291 this year for the Blue Devils. And Wolfram steps off. Cohn is a native of Boca Raton, Florida, which is home to Florida Atlantic University. We've seen one pitcher out of there, Zach Schneider, who has one of the craziest deliveries I've ever seen in my life. 3-1 from a lefty, Grant Wolfram. Breaking ball upstairs in a 5-pitch walk to Zach Cohn, number 26 in red, and heads down to first base. First and second, one out.
Number 9, Griffin Conine from Duke.
And this guy coming up right now, 2 for 3. A run scored, a double, a single. Watch out.
Makes it look easy, in all honesty.
I agree.
I saw him single back in Hyannis this morning. It just looked
effortless.
Effortless. Right back up the middle. Looked like the rest of his lineup was a little bit off, but then they exploded for 11 runs later in that game. Time is called by Willie McIver. Conine steps back in, lefty batter. First and second, one out in the 7th. The runner on second, Luke Alexander. The runner on first, Zach Cohn. First pitch, low and away. You have an SEC hitter on second, Alexander out of Mississippi State. Cohn on first, a ACC Duke Blue Devil, and a Duke Blue Devil at the plate in Griffin Conine. Son of former Major Leaguer Jeff Conine. 1-0. In there for a strike on the inside corner, 1-1.
And Jeff was here for the All-Star game.
7,162 others were also here. It was a gorgeous crowd at Spillane, filling up that outfield bleacher. The squad of scouting interns appears to be taking up their usual spot out there in left center. 1-1. Flown out to center field. That ball is about 400 feet in the air, and it comes down. Quan misjudged it. It goes over his head. Stopping at third is Alexander, and the bases are loaded because Stephen Quan looked like he was going to catch that, but he misjudged it as that ball was so high. Oh, my God. I heard Matt Feld about 2 seats away go, oh, my God.
It's true. I mean, Quan lost it in the air. It was so high. Thought he had a good read on it. Actually had to backtrack, 3 or 4 more steps, and Now the Ducks are on the pond.
Well, you would have had first and third in all likelihood with 2 out had that ball been caught by Quan. But instead you have the bases loaded and 1 out because the runner from second likely would have tagged because that ball was about 400 feet. And he didn't really get all of it. So you can imagine what Conine would be doing had he gotten all of that ball and sent it out to center. Probably would have gone 500. It's scored a single. First pitch way upstairs to Genesta. 1-0 to the Wichita State designated hitter. Bases are loaded. Here comes Jim Lawler jogging out to the mound. Much different than Mike Roberts, who likes to take a leisurely stroll out to the mound. I'm sure the umpires appreciate his running effort. And on the conversation as well, Kyle Kasser, Willie McIver, talking to Wolfram.
Big spot.
Absolutely.
Really big spot.
If the Kettleers can open this game up with Michael Byrne on the mound for at least the next inning probably, then they would be in really good shape. Shortstop Ben Baer looks to be on the grass. I think he'll probably stay there, and Jaron Duran on the grass as well. So is the third baseman Kyle Kasser. Blake Sable joining them. On infield is in. Wolf from a lefty-lefty matchup with Grayson Genesta at the plate. He's 0 for 2, reached on an error back in the third. 1-0, outside 2-0. Fastball from Wolfram. Number 44 in white, struggling out there so far. He's surrendered 2 hits and a walk since coming in. However, 1 hit was mostly on on Stephen Kwan out there in center field. A rare defensive mistake for him. Here's the 2-0. Line caught by the first baseman Duran. They go back to first in time. A double play on the line drive to get out of the inning.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Wow. A clutch play by Jaron Duran, the second baseman. And he throws back to first to Blake Sable for out number 3 on the inning. Grant Wolfram gets out of it. The score remains 2-0. We're off to the 7th inning stretch, which is presented to you by Eastern Propane and Oil, which sponsors the Gatemen with locations on and off the Cape as well. Gatemen Baseball coming up in the bottom half of the 7th right after this break on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Want to hear more about today's game, players, and breaking sports updates? Then download the free Next Radio app from the Google Play Store and tune to this station. It's live. It's local FM radio wherever you go. The Next Radio app. Get it today. Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Welcome back. It's the bottom half of the 7th inning. And Jake Anchia is set to lead off for the Wareham Gatemen. Takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1 from Michael Byrne, who's back in the game. The final line on Austin Kitchen goes 5 1/3, gives up no earned runs, no runs, 3 hits, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. That pitch comes inside and hits Jake Anchia. So he is the leadoff guy. He's aboard. And a rare inside mistake from Michael Byrne. And that's big. The Gatemen have the leadoff guy aboard. Jake Anchia on first. Willie McIver at the plate.
And keep an eye on Anchia, because if he had to come out of the game for some reason, you're starting to worry, because there's only 9 position players on this team right now. Cody Smith, your bullpen pitcher.
First pitch to McIver, bunted beauty down the first base line. The play at first base. Safe! Willie McIver beats out the crazy bunt. That was one of the most perfect bunts I've ever seen at Spillane Field. And McIver gets on to first, advancing to second, and Shea. And McIver tried to bunt back in the 5th inning. It didn't work. This time it does. So here in the 7th, the Gatemen have 2 on and nobody out, thanks to a hit by pitch and now some small ball from Willie McIver.
But like I was saying, Cody Smith, one of your bullpen pitchers, is eligible and has hit before in the past. He's a guy that you can count on, but going back to that play, nice sacrifice bunt, or what it was the intent to be a sacrifice bunt, turns out to be the single.
It was a very close play at first, but McIver was able to just beat out the step of Michael Byrne. Another bunt attempt by Sable. It goes foul. It's a lot tougher for those taller guys to bunt. They got to reach down quite a bit for those, normal level pitches. And he fouled that one away opposite field. 0-1 to Sable, who's 0 for 2. Grounded out to short in the 2nd. Struck out swinging in the 5th. Bunts it again. I mean, this one goes straight back towards us in the backstop. 0-2 on 2 consecutive foul ball bunts from Blake Sable. Sable's 2 for 5 with the bases, 2 for 5 with the bases loaded. That's not the situation we're in right now. He's 167 with runners in scoring position, and he swings and misses at a breaking ball. Nasty from Michael Byrne. 1 out in the 7th.
He's had a tough day. Sable 0 for 3. Couple Ks, both swinging. Ben Baird, he stepped it up last night, 3 for 4. He's 0 for 2 right now, but with 1 out, has a great opportunity to get the first run of the day.
Ben Baird out of Washington facing Michael Byrne from Florida. Blue Florida Gators undershirt, and this one lined into left field. Oh, it's caught by Chandler Avant. In the throw back to second, gets away from the second baseman Alexander. Rounding third, heading for home is Jake Anchia. Here's the throw, it goes wide. Anchia scores, it's a 2-1 game. On third is McIver.
There we go. That's what you like to see. Tough line out for Baird, but gets the job done as Avant went to go to second. The throw is way off, and Anchia scores easily. Now a 1-run game, 2 outs, but a runner 90 feet away.
So an E6 allows Anchia to score. It allows McIver to get to third, and that means that all 3 runs in this game now are unearned. And, I mean,
you take it.
You do take it, but at the same time, the pitching in this game has been absolutely phenomenal. And then some defense has allowed both these teams to get on the board now. Slider comes in on the outside part of the plate to Quan, 0-1. McIver is 90 feet away from tying this game at 2. 2 out in the 7th. The Gatemen have scored off of one of the best pitchers in this Cape Cod League, Michael Byrne. 0-1, line foul off the netting in front of the Cotuit broadcast booth. They're okay, 0-2. That's what the netting's there for. That was the first run allowed by Byrne. He still hasn't given up any earned runs. Grounded to first, off the glove of Tolia. He scoops it up and gets it over to first. Wow, that was close. But Tolia is able to recompose that ball and get it over to his pitcher, Michael Byrne, to retire the side. The Gatemen get 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, 1 man left on base. A lot of ones. And the Gatemen trail this game by a score of 2-1. Let's go to the 8th. The Kettleers have a lead.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Congrats to tonight's 50-50 raffle winners, announced by Dan Diaz, our PA announcer, who is the GOAT PA announcer in the Cape Cod League.
No question about it.
Undoubtedly.
We appreciate Dan.
We also have the best music operator,
Larry.
Eighth inning. He's not here? Oh, he's taking a break. It's okay. He works hard. Slider comes in. First pitch. Grounded to third. On the run is Kasser. Over to first. Big scoop. Blake Sable. Big scoop. And there's one down.
I've loved what I've seen from Sable at first base today. Nice stretch. Almost a split by the USC product.
Maybe that can be another video segment we do is Blake Sable gymnastics at first base. He is tall over there at first. He's able to stretch quite a bit. That first pitch to Michael Tolia, I thought it hit him, but it ends up going behind him as he stepped forward. That certainly would have hit him had he not moved. 1-0. Number 17, Michael Tolia, takes a pitch low, 2-0 from Grant Wolfram. Tolia leads the Kettleers with 6 doubles. That one fouled, outside, 3-0. Here comes Larry. He's got some food. That was his break. Got some fries. 3-0 coming in to Tolia.
Smells good.
Outside corner, 3-1. Fastball. Does smell good. How do you prefer your fries, with ketchup?
Of course.
Tolia, the UCLA guy. They had another UCLA guy. It was Justin Hooper, the pitcher. This one popped up behind second. Duran moving back, gets under it. That ball was very high, not quite as high as Griffin Conine's fly out to center, but two down quickly here in the 8th. Good job by Wolfram coming in relief.
Miles Lewis from Michigan.
Miles Lewis steps in from Michigan. He's 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts, both looking. Both off Noah Zavalis. First pitch from Wolfram, and it runs inside. 1-0. Wolfram with a high leg kick delivers outside breaking ball, 2-0. Lewis has had 17 hits coming into today. Here's the 2-0. Fouled away down the first baseline. Some exciting things happening down there on the near Spillane. Lewis did not play in game 1. Brett Kinnaman was in the lineup. This one grounded straight to the second baseman. Duran takes a tough hop into his chest and gets it over to Blake Sable for a 1-2-3 inning for Grant Wolfram. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left for Cotuit. The Gatemen have 6 outs to work with. They'll start with the bottom half of the 8th, and that's coming up here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 17 seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for top-notch baseball training. With over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18 and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
Robert Metz is to lead off the bottom half of the 8th. Some call him Robbie.
How you dare call him Robert.
Most call him Robbie. There have been people in my life who I know where if you call them a certain name or certain connotation of that name, they'll be very upset. I don't think Robbie Metz is one of those guys. That pitch is outside, 1-0.
The birthday boy not too long ago.
Yes, turned 21. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Pitch was low. Breaking ball, 1-1. Metz earned his 30th hit against the Orleans Firebirds. That was yesterday. Congratulations. Grounded through the left side. Diving stop by the shortstop, Avant, but he has no chance to get Metz. That was an incredible stop by the Alabama shortstop. But he was unable to get up and get across to beat the speedy Robbie Metz at first base. And the Gatemen get what they needed, a leadoff hit.
Baseman, number 13, Kyle.
They had a leadoff hit in the 6th. They were unable to capitalize on Stephen Kwan's leadoff single. Breaking news, a shark was spotted in West Yarmouth. They'll add that to the Sharktivity app. You can download that and get all the shark updates in the Cape Cod.
Oh, no.
First pitch showing bunt, Kyle Kasser. The pitch is outside.
There was also a shark sighting in Wareham a couple days ago, I'm being told.
Wow. Close by. Crawl into onset pay. 1-0. Line past the glove of the third baseman, Cohen, and into left field. Robbie Metz has to stop at second. But 2 consecutive singles to start this 8th inning, and the Gatemen have the tying run in scoring position, the lead run on first base.
Little by little, they're trying to make the comeback here in the 8th. Back-to-back singles. Now Duran, he's 0 for 3. He has struck out twice swinging. Both on breaking pitches. He's struggled with that. His first time facing Byrne here. Actually, he was the first batter to face Byrne, and he struck out with the breaking ball. So trying to get revenge.
Michael Byrne was born one day before me. in 1997, April 16th. He's 20 years old, from Orlando, Florida. Played for the Madison Mallards last year in the Northwoods League. Pitches in there for a strike. 6 starts, 8 games total with Madison, 2-1 with a 4.35 ERA. And this season at Florida, 38 appearances. I mean, that is a lot. 93 strikeouts to 15 walks. How about a strikeout to walk ratio of 6.20 for Byrne? 0-1, the count to Duran. Fouls it away opposite field. And out of play over the fence. 0-2. Duran's 0 for 3. He's had an off night. We congratulate him on his 100th at-bat, which as a Gateman, which came back in the 2nd inning. Big milestone for him.
Congrats.
Yesterday, Duran was unbelievable. 2 doubles and a single. I mean, both those doubles could have been stretched into triples had he not been unfortunate enough for them to bounce over the wall for ground rule doubles. We all know how fast he is. 0-2. Here's the pitch. Chopped right back to Byrne. He goes to the lead runner, third. Cohn back to first, not in time to beat Duran, but they get the lead runner, Robbie Metz, on the ground out, back to the pitcher.
One out, but still 2 runners on. Same situation, basically. John Topa coming up now. He slapped a single, part of a 1-for-3 day. Needs to slap that single again for Kyle Kasser to be able to score.
Topa has flown out to right field twice. He's a dead opposite field hitter. And here he stands in against a righty, Michael Byrne, who had a 1.67 ERA at Florida this year in 19 saves. First pitch. Topa flies it back out to right field. Right to Griffin Conine, and he makes the catch. Kasser thought about tagging, but Conine has a cannon out there and right, and there's 2 away. 2 quick outs for Byrne, and all of a sudden this first and second jam looks a lot easier for him. Michael Byrne led the entire NCAA with 19 saves this season. Durbin Feltman with TCU was second with 17. Line back up the middle, through for a base hit. Rounding third, heading home is Kyle Kasser. Here's the throw, it's not in time. Kasser's safe, it's a tie game. RBI single, Jake Anchia, RBI number 19. On second is Jaron Duran. Wow. The Gatemen tie it in the 8th.
It's wild. That's what it is, right up the middle. Nice job from Jake Anchia. Gets the job done. Gatemen aren't done yet.
Well, his 2-run home run yesterday ended up being the difference in a 6-5 win. And today, here he ties the game late, the first earned run of the game for either team. This one's fouled away straight back by McIver. He's 1 for 3 with a bunt single. Reached third base back in the 7th.
This would be a great spot for him to connect with one. Drive in another run for the Wareham Gatemen.
Byrne steps off. The NCAA saves leader with Florida gives up a run. That's the first earned run he's allowed this season in his 6th appearance. This one fouled straight back by McIver over the backstop and out of play.
Tough count here, no balls and 2 strikes. Byrne has some pitches to work with. Have to be careful what you swing at.
Brett Kanine was only 4 saves behind Byrne with 15 with Cal State Fullerton. That was tied for 6th. Pitch outside, 1-2. Byrne had given up 4 hits in 5 appearances coming into today. Now he's given up 4 hits today. The Gatemen have done a really nice job against one of the nation's best relief pitchers. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss by McIver on a breaking ball. Down swinging. Let's go to the 9th. We're tied at 2 on a heroic display from Jake Anchia just a batter ago. The Cotuit Kettleers have the first opportunity in the 9th. Let's check it out here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have one remaining prize from tonight. The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 17 seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for top-notch baseball training. With over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18 and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
Welcome back, 9th inning. First, Cotuit is going to have an opportunity to jump back out to the lead after Michael Burns surrendered the 2-1 lead for Cotuit in the 8th inning to an RBI single from Jake Anchia, his 19th run batted in this season. That leads the Gatemen. John Martellini, the catcher, will lead off against a new pitcher for the Gatemen. It's Brett Canine. Pitch fouled away by Martellini. Canine mentioned earlier that he was tied for 6th in the entire country with 15 saves this season at Cal State Fullerton. He's been really good this year. Here's the 0-1. Grounded to the second baseman, Duran. Tough hop, and it gets by him into right field. We'll see how they score it, but Martellini's on first. They call it an E4 on Martellini, or excuse me, on Duran. Martellini, the runner. The third error for the Gatemen. The first, Cotuit capitalized. The second, they didn't. They had a runner on third because of an E7. First pitch coming into Chandler Avant. Fouled off the chest of McIver on a bunt attempt, 0-1. Avant's 0 for 3. But he's 4 for 8 today because he was 4 for 5 this morning against Hyannis. McIver walks out to visit Brett Canine, and Canine signals something to Kyle Kasser, or excuse me, Ben Baird at shortstop. Canine has 3 saves this season, a 1.13 ERA for number 24. Showing bunt again. This one's going to roll foul. Balanced on the grass there and then just rolled into the stone dust baseline, or base path. The base line here does not run through the base path. 0-2. 8 innings pitched so far for Canine. He's given up 1 earned run, 17 strikeouts in 1 walk.
Dominant.
Absolutely. That will be a strikeout to walk ratio of 17.00. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Chandler Avant chases a fastball up at the shoulders. 1 out in the 9th. That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard.
As it always is.
It always is. Never not. 6 strikeouts today brought to you by them here in the 9th inning. The batter, Luke Alexander from Mississippi State, takes a ball up high, 1-0. Righty batter against the righty Brett Canine. Lined out to left field. It's going to drop in front of John Topa for a base hit. The first hit of the inning off Brett Canine, and an error allows John Martellini to be on second base right now. First and second, 1 out with Canine on the hill.
Still a chance for a double play ball here. But a tough hitter coming up. Zach Cohn is 1 for 2 with a run scored, a walk, a single.
Attention, please. A pinch hitter for the
Pinch hitter,
Cavaliers.
of course.
Now batting number 6, Taryn Vavra.
So it's Taryn Vavra to replace Zach Cohn in the lineup in the 9-hole. And just so if you want to know how good Vavra has been today, he was 3 for 5 with 2 runs batted in against the Harbor Hawks this morning. Vavra out of the University of Minnesota. And Canine dealing against the Golden Gopher in Vavra. Righty match up against a lefty batter. First pitch is a breaking ball that floats in there for a strike, 0-1. Vavra hit .308 for the Golden Gophers this season, 2 home runs, 19 runs batted in 50 games. Scored 36 runs. The Menominee, Wisconsin native. 0-1. Just outside, 1-1 from Canine. Menominee, Wisconsin is just to the west of Eau Claire, which is out near the Minnesota border. That pitch is somewhere, 2-1.
Crowd does not like it.
I don't know where it missed, but home plate umpire Vicente Alexander Medina says it missed somewhere, 2-1 the count. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Martellini on second. Not a threat to go. Runner on first, Luke Alexander. Here's a 2-1. Grounded to the shortstop, Ben Baird. Goes to second to Duran for 1. On to first. In time. 6-4-3 double play. And the Gatemen get out of the inning. They have a chance to walk it off in the bottom half of the 9th. It's been a good one today between the Kettleers and the Gatemen. Let's see if they can have a miraculous finish to this one on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Baseball Factory, which has proudly supported the Cape Cod League for 17 seasons, conducts baseball training, tournaments, and showcases at over 600 events nationwide, providing players with world-class instruction. The Baseball Factory program leads to future success both on and off the field for players aged 8 to 18. Learn more at baseballfactory.com.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare. Expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Number 4, Blake Sable from USC.
The night of Michael Byrne is over. Goes 2 2/3, gives up 2 runs, 1 earned, 4 hits, 3 strikeouts, no walks, and 1 hit by pitch in his night. First earned run allowed by him this year, and this is his 6th appearance with the Kettleers. The new pitcher is Kyle Kemp. He's a righty, and he's facing a lefty in Blake Sable. The first pitch is on the outside corner, 0-1. Kyle Kemp from Lipscomb University, that's in Nashville, Tennessee. 5.02 ERA this year with Lipscomb, 17 appearances, 262 opposing batting average. Here's the 0-1. Fouled straight back towards my head, 0-2. Number 46 in red, Kyle Kemp from Port Charlotte, Florida. 10 games this year, has a 6.14 ERA. He's walked 15 batters this season and has struck out 15.
Wow.
So something he's got to work on is
control.
Control completely. But he's ahead 0-2 on Sable, who's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts today. Here's the 0-2. Slow delivery. Poked out opposite field and foul, out of play. Sable has 2 home runs this season. None here at Spillane Field. 8 runs batted in for Sable. Looking for his 20th hit of the season.
1 home run at McKeon Park against the Harbor Hawks. 1 at the Gov versus the Commodores, both to right field.
He's the only player on the Gatemen roster with a double, triple, and home run this season. Here's the 0-2, outside.
It's a nice
1
stat.
and 2. It is. I mean, it doesn't really mean anything because triples are so hard to come by. You just got to hit the ball right in the right spot, and you have to have some speed. Lefty, Blake Sable in the box, trying to lead off a big inning. 1-2, fouled away, staying alive. Breaking ball inside part of the plate Grounds it foul towards Sean Callahan with that monstrous beard over there at first base.
Tough pitch to lay off, but he couldn't. Swings on it, inside, breaking ball. But he fights it off and see what he can do here with the 1-2.
1-2 upcoming. Driven out to deep right field, but foul. If that one was fair,
wow,
the Gatemen would have been dancing at home plate, but he was just ahead of it. He has some power. We've seen it before. 2 home runs this season for Sable out of USC. Here's the 1-2, low, 2-2. This one's fouled straight back by Sable. He's working a nice count here on the new pitcher, Kyle Kemp. And it's always good. New pitcher to work up the count quickly. Two-two. Swing and a miss. Blake Sable chases that one outside the strike zone. And the first strikeout for Kyle Kemp on the first batter he sees. And here's Ben Baird. Baird's 0 for 3. A fly out, a ground out, and a line out. 1 out in the 9th. Left righty batter, righty pitcher. Baird, the shortstop, pops it up in the infield, waving off everyone, the third baseman, John Cresto, when he makes the play. We saw Vavra pinch hit in the top half for the third baseman, Zach Cohn, and now John Cresto comes in to play defense. And Baird pops out to him, 2 down. Stephen Kwan's up.
Gatemen are 2-1-1 in extra inning ball games this year. So if it goes to that, that's the record.
With the tie, of course, coming against Falmouth down at Go Fuller Field. Here comes Mike Roberts out to the mound.
One thing he cannot do here is labor on the time of this game so that the lighting is an issue. There are lights here at Spillane Field, so his mound visits are strictly to talk to his team, not to waste time. Notorious for doing so.
Father, of course, of an MLB Baltimore Oriole legend, Brian Roberts. Played about 40 years with the Orioles, I believe. At least it seemed that way.
Second baseman primarily. And again, we've talked about it before. Him and Jeff Conine are very, very good friends. That's how the Roberts and the Conine family know each other. That's why Griffin Conine is playing for the Kettleers, because of that connection.
And maybe brought some of his Duke teammates with him to Cotuit, such as Mitch Stallings, the pitcher, and, of course, Zach Cohn, the third baseman. 2 out in the 9th. Stephen Kwan trying to extend the game before it makes its potentially inevitable run to extra innings. First pitch is low to Kwan. 1-0. At Spillane Field, there has been 2 extra inning ball games, I believe. 1-0. Outside, corner, strike 1.
And 2 wins.
Kwan, a lefty against the righty. He's 1 for 3 today with a walk as well, a strikeout and a ground out. Stepping off is Kyle Kemp. The Lipscomb product stares down Quan. Breaking ball outside, 2-1. Gatemen trying to extend this 9th inning before Cotuit will have an opportunity in the 10th. Here's the 2-1. Outside, 3-1. And for Cotuit, they've already played 9 innings before today, so before this game, this morning against Hyannis. So, you know, extra innings for them is just
taxing.
Kind of it's rough. I mean, salt on the wound, I guess, to head into extras. Here's the 3-1 outside. Stephen Kwan's going to head down to first base with a 2-out walk, and the game-winning run is on base.
And Robbie Metz coming up to the plate. He was your player of the game when he walked it off versus the Chatham Anglers.
A classic one here at Spillane.
One that will live on in Gatemen history forever.
Yeah, I mean, a pitcher's duel to the end, 0-0 into the extras. Awesome stuff on that one. This one's tied at 2. The righty, Robbie Metz, swings and misses at a high fastball, 0-1. Metz has found himself a home in right field. Usually was a middle infielder / third baseman.
He's had to.
And then the Gatemen found themselves with 2 outfielders left after Tristan Pompey had to leave due to an injury. Tanner Dodson no longer available to play outfield, and Nick Angelini exits as well. Pickoff attempt at first. Quan dives back. Big situation for Quan to maybe try to steal second, get into scoring position with 2 outs in the 9th. Although you don't want to end this game on a stolen bait, on a caught stealing, so it's really a
tough decision.
It's a tough decision for the base coaches and for Don Snedden. Here's the 0-1, fouled away by Metz, 0-2.
Man, I can't believe Blake Sable was feet away from ending this ball game with the jack.
Not quite, though. 0-2 on Metz, the George Washington Colonial from the Atlantic 10 Conference. Of course, known for its basketball. Here's the 0-2. Lined into right field. Drops for a base hit down the line. Quan rounds second. He's heading for third. He's going to round third and head for home. Here's the throw. Here's the play. Not in time. The Gatemen win. A walk-off double for Robbie Metz. The hero again. How about that? Captain Clutch, Robbie Metz.
Captain Clutch, yes, sir. 2 for 2 in walk-offs. Robbie Metz.
And that, 2 outs, runner on first, double down the line. That's basically the only way that you can get Quan across in that situation. And he does it. Wow, opposite field again. Basically the same exact play.
Oppo Taco.
And the Gatemen celebrate out in center field.
That's fun. That's fun baseball. You go on the 7-game losing streak. You win 2 games in a row. Zavalis pitches really well. No earned runs. Just the error on Ben Bear lets up those early 2 runs. Wareham is coming back in this thing, baby.
No earned runs for the Gatemen allowed today. And on a more personal note, this was my last home game here on the Gatemen Baseball Network as play-by-play, and what a way to end it. I mean, pretty incredible. Walk-off stuff. That's awesome. And what a performance by Noah Zavalis, Grant Wolfram, and then finishing the deal, Brett Canine. Great pitching from the Gatemen. They give up no earned runs today after a pretty stellar performance yesterday by Aaron Hernandez late in that game. we thank you for joining us for today's broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. The general manager of the Wareham Gatemen is Andrew Lang. The producers of today's broadcast, Nick Veronesi and Matt Wieselthaler. Our sideline reporter, Claudia Chikamian. Thanks to our beat writer, Matthew Feld. Our host, Connor Federico. Our PA announcer, Dan Diaz. Our music operator, Larry, of course. Our scorekeeper, who is new to the press box today. The next broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball will be tomorrow, as the Wareham Gatemen are going to take on the Falmouth Commodores right here at Spillane Field, the last meeting between those West Division rivals. That game is at 6:30, and it will begin with the Gatemen Pregame Show presented by South Coast Health. It's 30 minutes prior at 6 p.m. For Jacob Toby, I'm Sam Corman. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's exhilarating broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.